Hey, what's up? Dane Cook, and I'm here on Howard TV to talk about my show at Madison Square Garden.
Dane, you're a big fan, right?
I am, yes.
Now, this is your first time on the show. You nervous?
First time.
You nervous? Excited? What do you expect?
Not really nervous. I don't know what to expect because it's Howard, so you never know what to expect. But that's kind of good. That's good. That's where the good stuff is, when you're a little scared.
You're a little bit?
Actually, no. Not really.
All right, so you're going to have a good time today, right?
After you've been in front of 20,000 people, everything else is a little bit more relaxing.
Dane Cook is promoting his Dane Cook and Friends tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the New York Comedy Festival. This guy's on fire.
He's the man.
It's at the Garden.
You're smaller than I thought you were.
It's at the Garden tomorrow night.
Oh,
wow.
I mean, Dane Cook, where did you say it was going to be?
At the New
Comedy
York...
Cellar? No.
No, at the New York Comedy Festival. Hey, Dane, nice to see you.
What's going on, Howard?
What's
Good to see you.
man? You know, I guess it's kind of legendary in the comedy community that you, of course, built your following on the Internet. You successfully figured out how to harness the power of the Internet.
I did.
When you're an unknown comic, when you're a guy just coming up, how do you get your word out that you have this website and people should follow you? I don't even understand how you pulled it off.
I was, like most people, masturbating violently 23 hours a day.
Right.
Violently.
Violently masturbating.
Like you were angry at your penis. That's right.
Angry at my career.
Right.
Actually.
How old were you at this point? When you were really angry at your career, you've been trying comedy, it wasn't going well.
Well, this is 20 years, this New Year's Eve, and so I was like 27.
Right, and it's getting to the point where you go, like 30 is a weird age to still be doing comedy and not get anywhere.
I'm like college act, and I'm getting a little bit too old to, do the same kind of thing. So I just started sending out like links to my skits and stuff like that online,
right.
And it became like my thing. I'd spend half the day playing video games and the other half just emailing links and trying to figure out who my fans were online.
And were people like your parents saying to you, this is a waste of time? Were they at the point where they said, listen, you're sitting at home,
still living at home
with links, you're making links, and because sometimes I see people with links, and you go, boy, asshole, you're making links. Why don't you get out and work? But it worked for you. You got a following. How many people were on your website?
Like at one point, it was like when MySpace was at its absolute peak. It was like 2.5 million followers,
wow.
and then like 1 million hits on my personal website. It was almost scary, to be honest. It was a little bit like, I have to kind of live up to this.
Right, it became an obligation. And in fact, what was on the website that was so compelling? You did some skits and you'd post it.
I do a lot of ribbon dancing, and so I would do the ribbon techniques,
right,
and just anything non-comedic.
Would you record this yourself with your own video camera?
I did. I would do like local sets at down in the Village or the Laugh Factory in L.A.
Right.
And I would just post anything. I would just post even if it was an unfinished joke, or I would just sit in front of my computer and do like little webcam chats. But I had no fans at the time. At first,
right.
It was like
it was obnoxious.
10 people. Yeah, it was obnoxious, and
right.
10 people that I knew their names.
Right.
And I would just, talk to the same 10 people, and I watched it go like 10, 20, 40, 80.
Wow.
Until finally it was, arenas, and it's been a wild ride, man.
Right, it's a wild ride, and
but still masturbating violently. I still find the time.
Do you not have a girlfriend?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
What does she do? She in show business?
She is a singer. She sings, yeah.
And there's a steady relationship. Were the rumors that you were with Jessica Simpson are just merely a rumor?
Rumors?
I mean, usually where there's smoke, there's fire. You went out with her, right?
Little dalliances here and there. But
I would love to bang her.
But
I mean, as a guy who masturbates a lot too, that's a hot girl. I mean,
she was beautiful.
Beautiful girl. Why
and
didn't
that also has to be some kind of a craziness, because here you were 27 sitting in your room, and now you're with Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, I used to masturbate violently to her.
Right, and now you're with her. I've actually had that happen.
Yeah?
Where I masturbated to someone, and then I met him, and I got to bang him.
I would watch Newlyweds and just hold my hand over Nick.
But also, that didn't work out, though. She wasn't a girl that you could stay in a long-term relationship with.
No. And plus, I was, not to bum out, but it was like, my mom was really sick. I was making that movie. My mom was got cancer, and so it was like, if I wasn't on set, I was taking care of my family. So
bad timing.
Yeah, definitely.
Is your mom still alive?
No, she passed away.
From cancer.
From the masturbating violently. It's a really strange thing that...
But at least she got to see that you made it.
She did.
mean, she saw you in your room making video links and links to your website. And,
Absolutely.
And this was not... Your father still alive?
My dad... I lost my mom and dad to cancer within 9 months of each other. Both of them got cancer. That same year that everything kind of blew up, and everybody was like the white hot spotlight, I was like at home, taking care of my folks. And so it was weird, man. It was a weird time.
Terrible
but they
timing.
both got to see it. My dad,
but terrible timing on your parents' part. True.
Yeah, I blame them entirely.
Yeah, I mean,
schedule your cancer deaths.
You finally hit it. Everything's coming into fruition.
Yeah,
the whole plan is working.
They ganged
and the
up
two
on
of
me.
them, there they are,
They were in
burdening
cahoots.
See, my father had the decency to die when I was a complete loser.
Right. So you had a lot of time to devote to him.
He wanted to go.
I mean, you've been linked to beautiful women.
True.
Kate Hudson, I think. No, Katie Holmes.
No,
was it Kate Hudson?
Kate Hudson.
Kate
I did a
Hudson.
film with Kate Hudson. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's weird to do a film with a girl. You do fall in love in a sense when you get to do these films with people, and then I guess when you get off set, it's a whole different reality.
Yeah, it's what are they? A location ship sometimes.
Right, because you're in a movie together. Everything you're being catered to, and
you have makeup on. You look great.
Right, and you're working together, and you rehearse, and and suddenly you're banging Kate Hudson. Jesus Christ.
Not actually banging, but pantomime banging, yes.
You never banged her?
No.
Never?
No, she had a boyfriend at the time.
Oh,
and we were
so
just actually buddies.
It was not a romance?
Yeah, no, there was really no.
Jessica Simpson was a romance.
That was just kind of like hanging out.
Little pork in here and there. Everybody's having
I wouldn't
a good
say
time.
pork and maybe beans.
Pork and beans. All right. The movie I like that you did was Mr. Brooks. I love that film.
I love that film.
Good film. Did that film do well commercially?
I think it made enough money to pay me.
So why didn't that movie do well? It was you and Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his best roles.
Yeah.
He plays this insane, and you play an insane guy, and it's really, I'm always looking for good movies to watch, and that's one of those surprises.
And the other person in it is Demi Moore.
Right. You rent it on DVD, and you go, man, this is a good movie. Why didn't I see this in the theater? Was it poor marketing? What the hell happened?
I don't really. Yeah,
Did you not video link?
It was a low budget. It was definitely a low budget film, and when we made it, it was like, okay, we're going to hope that when this thing, finally hits, that it goes wide. But you do these things and you just don't know. It's not like stand up. I can control that. I can go out. I know what I'm going to present. And your writer, director, sometimes bouncer, Artie will tell you that. You're doing everything. You do a movie, and then when it's done, you're like, I don't even know what's going to happen.
Did you ever write a movie?
I did, yeah.
Did you get to produce it and put it out there?
Oh, I did some short film stuff, but nothing.
Are you frustrated with the scripts you get in the sense that you're like, well, I'm at the mercy of some screenwriter? I would think you would take the matter into your own hands the way you did your stand-up career.
Yeah. No, I did a few, comedies that were, that were decent, but more like highlight good. There's moments in them. Right. But as a whole, that's why I'm writing my own stuff now, and we'll see what happens.
Were you popular as a kid in high school?
No, absolutely.
Were you loserish?
Loserish, very introverted, panic attack. I used to have a tree called the throw-up tree on the way to school. And if I could make it past the throw-up, which I never could, I'd be frozen, my hands would be tingling, because the thought of being around people was just horrifying.
You're antisocial in a way.
I'm pretty shy.
You are shy. Were you the type? Did you get laid in high school at all?
Never.
No. No girls looked at you.
I did finally lose my virginity in high school, but to my first girlfriend, but she was homely.
And she acted like she was doing you a favor.
But she was homely now, but she was hot then because I was very homely and zits. And
did you go to college?
No, I did not.
You did not go to college.
No,
you went out to make your career happen.
Stand up in 1990 and never went to college. High school, and that's it.
And
isn't that funny, though, that you wound up entertaining college kids?
Well, the best thing is when I would do the colleges and I would walk in and then like a teacher or some staff guy would be like, you're here for the show? And I'd be like, I am the show.
Did you start to get laid as you became a stand-up comic?
Oh, yeah.
And then the girls started to take notice of you?
Oh, yeah. Like 22 to 28 was legendary for me.
Really? Famous chicks, too?
Just kind of,
famous and
not really at the time.
But really
like
hot.
C-listers at the time.
Yeah, but hot chicks who wanted to be famous.
Yeah, like Soleil Moon Frye's assistant.
Right. That type. Not that you had Soleil Moon Frye's assistant,
Yeah.
but that type.
Right. Somebody like her.
Somebody like her.
I've seen her. She's hot, that assistant.
Right. And sometimes two at a time. Did you orgy at all? Was that part of the legend, so to speak?
In Reno, I did that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And how many girls were in the room with you at that time in Reno?
I did. It was my first threesome.
Threesome.
Ever. Yeah.
And you knew how to handle it?
Oh, I was overwhelmed, Howard.
Shoot your load rather rapidly?
I think I knew it was going to happen, so I jerked off a couple of hours early
just like me.
Yeah.
Well, just like every guy. Two.
I did it just like you, too.
Two girls at the same time. Did they know each other? The girls?
Yes.
How did they know each other?
They were like
Prison.
They worked at like a men's club.
Prison.
And prison.
Yeah, it was like they knew each other. You met them somewhere doing a show kind of thing, and they said, "Hey, let's go back to your room and party." And before you know it, they're naked. They're in your bed.
Yeah.
And now, I guess one's handling your penis, the other one's kissing you.
Yeah, I've got like Joey Lawrence hair at the time.
Wow.
I had this huge, like, Lethal Weapon mullet, just big hair.
Does a time come where it goes to your head that you start to think you're even better than you are? Like that you're a superstar, you're God,
No.
Were you humble always?
Yeah.
You were. You were pretty. I never
probably to a fault. I should probably be a little bit more cocky about it. Or,
embracing your success.
Yeah.
But you had terrible tragedy for not only your parents dying within 9 months of each other, but even worse, you got ripped off financially. And I guess the case is still going on.
I know. I can't talk too much about it.
Can I tell people what I'm talking about here?
Please.
Okay. You had a business manager who was your stepbrother or half brother?
You have. Yep.
Half brother. In other words, this was your father's second family.
My mom's. Yeah. My mom's ex-husband's son's brother's something.
You were close to him growing up.
Oh yeah.
You made him your manager.
Made him
manager.
Bookkeeper.
Made him your bookkeeper.
Yeah.
You're accusing him, I guess, of stealing millions of dollars from you. Millions. 3 million or something like that? Is that the right number? Up.
Yeah.
Is it 11 million?
It's dancing around that number. Sure.
Oh, God. Oh,
listen, I got to tell you something. First of all,
yeah.
You hear the number $11 million. In order to realize $11 million, you got to make a lot of money.
You got to make 22.
And I think you seem like a pretty grounded guy.
Yeah.
In show business, it's fleeting. You never know how hot you're going to be forever.
That was the nest egg.
That was it. Once you had this $11 million, it gives you a certain creative freedom.
Yes.
A freedom in life. You can afford a home. Because stand-up comics, for the most part, don't make it.
Oh, yeah.
You beat the odds and you made it and you acquired this $11 million.
Absolutely.
How does he get $11 million? I
don't know, man. I still don't know the answers.
You weren't watching the books.
Well, he was my brother.
Right. So how did you come to find out that this has got to be incredibly painful? Because he's the one person you want to be able to trust.
That's the thing is, I can't really talk too much about it because I still don't know. He's in jail, and until the trial, I don't know the answers. It's still a mystery to me.
Right. Will you have to testify?
I'm sure when it finally comes to pass.
Has he written you and said, listen, please, let me out of this?
No.
He's not even
Somebody I talk to pretty much every day of my life.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Somebody you talk to.
How did you discover
when you watch like a 48 Hours, like those were my favorite shows,
Yes.
and I used to watch those shows about people like Double Life and be like, almost kind of like, wow, that'd be kind of interesting to have that happen. Like it was almost so fascinating. Be like, wouldn't that be cool to have? I always wanted my family to have a deep, dark secret. I was like, that'd be great to, or live in a house that has like a ghost child running around, like murdering people. Just something crazy.
You probably told your brother this.
I probably did.
You get a morbid curiosity.
That's going to be his defense.
Yes.
I was just trying to make your fantasy come true. So in all seriousness,
but how did you discover it? I mean, when did you know that you were ripped off?
It all happened literally within, like, at Thanksgiving of last year. Life was just hunky-dory and, coming off, my parents and all this stuff that had happened and starting a new tour. And then within a few days, everything just completely
Hey, did you see the $11 million I had hanging around here?
Is it true that you hired a business manager who then uncovered this, who figured out for you that a lot of money is unaccounted for?
I can't really answer it because I don't know. I mean, I did hire a new business manager, but they didn't really discover. It was just something that kind of happened through a course of a few days. Just like absolutely everything I thought about this person was I guess I should say allegedly different. But, when it's over, I come back and tell you.
No, understood. I feel for you
story.
because I imagine there's not too many people in life you can really trust and say, you know what, I trust this person with my life,
and
my money.
isn't it great to take a family member along for the ride and to be able to
the thing is,
share everything
with
them?
He was a corrections officer.
Right.
And he was even almost killed by an inmate. And I went to him and said, because he has a son, I was like, I want you to, I don't want your son worrying about his dad. And so I'm going to double time it.
Wow.
I'm going to go on the road, and I want you to come work with me. And so it was like, this guy was a corrections officer. I hired him to, protect my money, not help it escape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what a nice thought, too. You're saying, listen, I'm worried about you. Let me take you out of your life where you could get killed. And it's a beautiful thought. And do you feel like, not only betrayal, but do you feel like a dupe? I mean, it's the worst.
Look, it was like an anvil to the head, but I'm one of those people, man, that just, what's next? I'm on to the next thing. I want to wrap it up. I want the truth to, come out.
Surface, and that's it.
And then...
Is the money gone, or does he have it somewhere? Is there a chance that you could recover it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I mean, the Attorney General and people they allude to things, but I can't know much. It's a family case, so I can't.
Has it split the family?
No.
It hasn't split the family?
I have 5 sisters, and everybody is like, they know what I'm about, and everybody's just like, they can't believe this guy.
If he is convicted, how far would the sentencing go? How long?
I don't know, because it's a state case, so it's like, I know that's different from if it was a federal level, but yeah.
Sometimes you get more time for that than murder itself, because we value property.
I'm learning as I go, but it's been it's been a wild year, to say the least.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, that's got to be really, really awful. I mean, to lose your parents in one year and then have your brother allegedly do this to you is unbelievable.
Yeah, it sucks.
Did you ever feel any guilt putting him in jail, or none whatsoever?
No, I'm one of those people. It's like, if karma gets you, and whatever you put out there is going to come back.
How is it you've never had a drink of alcohol in your life? Are you not curious to at least see what this is all about, or what's going on here?
I look at Artie, and I feel like he's like me in another dimension.
Right. You're the opposite.
Way out.
Right. No, but seriously, how do you never have a drink of alcohol, or you've never tried a drug?
Never.
Never smoked weed?
Nothing.
I mean, it almost points out what you say. You were such an introvert and sort of, let's say, nerdy in high school that maybe you never were part of that scene.
Okay, but
sometimes that's how people loosen up.
Yeah,
that's
true.
But here's the thing: is I knew even when I was like, my best friend in school was like, he was like the biggest. He was drinking Jaeger before classes, and he was getting stoned. We were like Goofus and Gallant. It was like I was like the Halo guy, and he was, and. He, and so we were buddies, and but I'm like one of those people. I'm not competitive outwardly, but I'm really competitive with myself. And if I did coke, I would have to be the most coked guy in the room.
Right, you'd want to be the best coked guy in the
God
world, right.
On the roof.
So, in other words, your personality is such that even if you drank, you would become an alcoholic.
If I do something, I take it all the way to insanely ridiculous levels.
So there's no moderation, and there's no way you fear in a way taking a drink.
I don't fear it. No, I think I'm going to wait. I'm like 50 and just do heroin and meth and everything. Just rock it out.
I don't think so. So, but yet you seem like a very grounded, very focused guy.
Sure.
And then I hear that when you were doing a stand-up somewhere, you got heckled and you jumped off the stage and beat the guy over the head with a microphone. Is that true?
I got in a little bit of a fisticuffs years ago outside Nashville with a guy.
But
I didn't just jump off
the to react.
You don't understand.
What happened?
Really, how pissed you can get at those people.
What happened?
You do a lot of gigs and crappy Chinese food restaurants that they turn into comedy clubs when you're coming up. And
it's got to be depressing.
The guy threw a Buddha mug at me, or something. Something came out of nowhere, and then
he threw something.
He threw something at me. It might have been like a spare rib, or I don't know what it was, but right. I saw some debris come through the spotlight there, and then I said something about his girl. I went right after his girlfriend because she was just yammering and fucking obnoxious. So.
And then the nightmare couple.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna kick your ass in front of everybody, and the rest of the crowd got Thunderdome. They were like, we want to see it. Yeah. Do it, kick his ass. And so they were egging me on, and that old thing, one time I was in high school, I didn't like to fight. I was so scared, and these bullies forced me to fight another kid who was also a pussy. Two pussies fighting each other in the schoolyard. And we're literally both like hitting and being like, "Are you all right?" You know, like we're crying and
my
like,
God, such a gladiator.
Are you all right?
Like the
it was like Sean Penn in Bad Boys. You know, like
feeding the Romans to the. Yeah, well, go ahead. So
I ended up getting in like this, this physical confrontation with an audience member, and
wow. And did you kick his ass?
No, he kind of kicked my ass.
Yeah, how hard?
But I did get a good shot in with the mic, and it did that nice feedback sound.
But you were brave.
I did. I had to, stand up for myself because it was, you can't have a spare rib thrown at you during a show and not.
Now get back to this financial thing for one more question, because I forgot to. Do you now have money, or are you bankrupt?
No, I have money.
You have money?
Yeah. I mean, I continued to tour even beginning, before that happened, and then throughout. So it's. I've been pretty blessed that I have great fans, and
yeah, sure,
I'm in a good spot.
It. I mean, it's unbelievable. What do you think of comics who are working? And is there a certain age they should give it up, hang it up, like
if they're not making it?
If a guy hits 50 years old,
I was doing gigs, Howard, with Rodney. I used to host for Rodney at the Laugh Factory, before he passed away. Sure. Still, when he would come in with an earpiece on, and his girl would sit up in the balcony and are you going to go into the thing about the, your wife and the sexual, like she would feed them the lines, and
really?
He was still killing. He would kill. Rodney would kill. And he would do that thing too. It was like, it shows you how comics were all a little insecure and fucked up. He would come in, I would host, and he would always do this thing, Rodney, where I would have to say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a legend here, Rodney Dangerfield," and Rodney would stand up, and he would do this, and I would say, "Rodney, would you come up for a minute? Would you come up?"
And so it was all planned.
Yeah, he had to have this, and he'd say, "No," and I would have to say to the crowd, "Do you guys want to see Rodney?" And they would go, "Yeah," and Rodney would kind of do his thing, and then, "Come, Rodney, you're gonna," and I was making him come up, but every time.
Did he need that because he wanted it to seem spontaneous, that all of a sudden he just came up and blew away the crowd, or did he want it because he didn't really want to be in a small club and he was just doing everyone a favor?
I think it's like that thing where I know if you don't do stand up for a little bit, not only do you get you feel like a newbie all over again, but you just feel like, do they care, or they get this?
Rodney was insecure to the day he died. Is what
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow, isn't that something? With all of his success.
Yeah, man.
And all the
but
movies
I believe
and
you can do
everything.
stand up until you're
Why is it important to you as a stand-up comedy guy to? I see guys do this. You beat Dave Chappelle's record of staying on stage for over 6 hours. There seems to be some sort of longevity.
What is the reason for that record?
Yeah, why do you need to do that? I don't understand what the thing is there.
It really wasn't. It was a local. It's not a world record. I think some dude in Europe stayed on stage for 9 days or some shit.
You were on 7 hours. You did 7 hours straight on stage.
I did.
Holy shit.
Is that hard for the audience? I mean, I don't care who you. I don't care if you're Steve Martin. I mean, it's 7 hours on stage.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Why did you do it?
Because it was there was a record at the Laugh Factory that Pryor had set 3 hours 50 minutes, and then I had done 4.5 hours years ago, and then Chappelle came and was like, "Man, I'm gonna break that Dane Cook's record, man. Give me the mic." And so he went up, and he did 6.5 hours. But if Dave, 4 hours of it was lighting a cigarette.
Yeah. He moves, got a slow pace.
And deliberate.
Moving a stool for,
right.
Dave's got "Man, I'm gonna move the stool, man. Blow a smoke ring, man."
It's a good bit.
So when you're growing up, who is the person that inspired you?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, right?
That was the comedy album that I held on to, and my sister saw him at Madison Square Garden, and I remember the night she came home, I was 14, 15, and she said, "I just saw this guy, Dane, and he stood on stage," and she told me that he did this, 20,000 people, and I said, "I'm going to play Madison Square Garden someday."
Was anybody in your family a comic, or where do you get that from?
Everybody was kind of funny.
Right.
Yeah.
But
either funny or stealing money.
But it takes right. But it takes balls, which is funny if you're not the guy getting stolen from. Well, I mean, it does take balls to get up on stage that first time. Were you horrible the first time you got up?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The first few years are just absolutely, cringeworthy when you kind of watch it back. But yeah.
I feel like a lot of comedians are jealous of you. I think maybe it's the internet thing and the tremendous success with playing stadiums, right? Joe Rogan accused you of stealing his material. Do you get that a lot? Do you feel that's out of jealousy, or do you feel there's some legitimate claim there?
No, I don't. It's definitely not legitimate claim.
Right.
But the thing is about it, it's tough to talk about from the perspective of a person. You're the perfect example. You start to get the success, and then there's the same people that were once saying you're the shit, you're the next big thing. Every DJ for a couple of years was like playing my bits and touting me, and I knew I was already in like the
fetal position.
I'm gonna get smashed.
Rolling Stone magazine called you like the up-and-coming great comedian of all time, and then the following year when you had your success,
like the following week,
the following week said you were a piece of shit and you don't deserve any success.
Oh,
Is that
nice.
true?
Are they nice?
I know.
But you know what? But I know that feeling because
That's a turnaround.
I've been on the cover of Rolling Stone twice. The cover of Rolling Stone was a big deal to me.
Of course.
And then I remember when we started on satellite, after our first show, the guy wrote a review and said that we were the worst thing ever. We were good, we were great until then, and then we got on satellite, we were terrible. And it upset me, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're I love comics. I respect comedy, the art of comedy. It's all I ever wanted to do since I was a kid. So when people that you respect especially are the ones kind of slinging at you, it's confusing,
right?
If anything else, but I never really responded to it because it's just superfluous, and you're not a thief a little bit. You're a thief entirely, or you're not. And if you look at everything I've done, you can clearly see that these are my ideas, and I don't know.
Right.
People say what they're going to say, man.
That's right, but you don't let it bother you. But you are an angry guy.
I'm an angry guy.
You have a couple of incidents which are very interesting.
I
here.
do?
Yes. It says here, according to the New York Post, Dane was once kicked out of Smith & Wollensky Steakhouse for being too difficult.
Absolutely
According
not
to an
true.
employee, Dane's assistant ordered for him. He got a steak and sent it back 3 times. The chef was furious. Eventually, we told him enough is enough, and they threw you out of Smith & Wollensky.
That is not true. It's the chicken parmesan, those douchebags. No, that's absolutely not true. I laughed when I read that. Not true at all.
So, in other words, there's no fact there at all.
I've never been kicked out of any restaurant my entire life.
That was Sam Cook.
I said this earlier this morning. The Post once wrote that I bought a stripper at Scores a brand new car or Mercedes or something.
But when you're famous, you have to actually ask yourself, is somebody impersonating me out there and doing these things?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of...
But when I read that, I'm like, okay, not only is it a slow news day, but they're like, let's make up some real boring slow news. It's like, pick an A-lister to lie about.
As of June 2007, Dane was single. Then he dated Costa Rican singer Raquel Houghton.
Yeah,
that sounds hot to me.
She's beautiful. I'm with her now. I'm back with Raquel Houghton.
Are you living with her?
Girlfriend?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And she sings.
She sings. Except she just had a tonsillectomy that went wrong.
Yeah.
And she was hemorrhaging and bleeding, and she's not singing right now.
But she will be able to again?
Yes.
Tonsillectomy.
Yeah.
What got caught in her throat? This is a hot chick. Are we marrying this one, or is no way you'll ever get married? Because
I don't know. I don't know what I feel about marriage entirely. But
you in love with her?
Yeah, she's cool.
You're in love.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
That must be awfully good what you're getting over there.
I don't masturbate violently anymore.
I got to see a picture of this chick.
I masturbate lovingly.
Young chick? How old are we talking about?
17.
17,
no.
Nice. From Costa Rica. Those are impressionable girls.
Oh,
those
she's
Costa
beautiful.
Ricans.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. You met the family?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, this is the greatest. 2008. Jessica Alba, I guess you worked with her on a movie.
I did.
Hot chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
No interest in her?
Oh, yeah. But she had a boyfriend.
She had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
No chance for romance.
No.
She says, and this is what I would do on a film. She says that you purposely did a lot of extra love scenes and nude scenes with girls in order to, mess around with the girls.
Oh, my goodness.
Purposely did nude scenes.
Jessica accused you.
I purposely wrote nude scenes.
Just
accused
undressed.
you and other cast members of tricking female extras into shooting unnecessary sex scenes for their own enjoyment on the set of Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah, this sounds legitimate.
Now, why would she say? Did you get along with her when you made the movie?
Oh, yeah. She's cool people.
Did you ever call her up and say, why are you saying this about me?
I did.
So what did she say?
She said, she wrote me an email back saying, things are misconstrued and the entire thing wasn't quoted. And I'm like, what was the beginning or ending of that quote? Hey, watch me be ironic. Hey, I'm about to go into Bizarro world for a minute. Let's.
I mean, if you were going to do that, do the scenes with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about what.
I mean, because that seems kind of, seems kind of sleazy, and it's a really damaging accusation. I think.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, who would do
It
that?
Hurtful.
continues to show up in print every time you want to do an interview.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing is, all this, that's what's really interesting is like everything sticks on the internet. Everything is fresh news, like even the Joe Rogan, like I have nothing with Joe or even like Louis C.K., like we worked all that stuff out.
Louis
like,
C.K. was another comedian who gave you shit and said you ripped off material.
Yes.
And you called him and you said, look, here's what I'm doing.
I wrote him a passionate email, just talking about everything, putting it out there. He wrote me back, and, we were sitting on a couch a year later at Comics Come Home. Good set.
But you're right. The
internet, fans get in, and they like...
The internet, the very thing that helped your career, can also hurt it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean that the Jessica Alba thing? I don't think I would have let her off the hook for that because that's not cool.
That
I don't like.
Really creepy.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, how can you take that in stride?
Because
if somebody said that about me, I'd be really hurt. I really would.
I know, but Howard, if you kept everything that everybody said about you on your mind, you would.
But wait a second. Here's a woman you worked with.
Yeah.
I mean, you develop a certain respect for each other.
Right.
I assume.
But she said 10 other really wonderful things, or during junkets she said amazing things too. So I don't know, maybe she was having a bad period.
I don't know. But to say, hey, Dane was doing unnecessary sex scenes, it was pornography.
Well, I did. I like I said, I reached out and I said I thought that was uncalled for, and why would you?
I think she should issue a retraction. What do you think of that?
Well, she did to me.
Yeah, great. This I like about you. You say that you have incredible phone sex skills. What are you talking about here? Because I'm bad at this phone sex.
Yeah.
You're saying because you're on the road with your comedy all the time.
Sure.
Not Jessica Alba, the Costa Rican. She's away from you, I guess.
Yeah.
She doesn't travel with you all the time.
Right.
You call her up and you begin this phone sex.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And you're able to beat off with her saying dirty things to you.
How do you initiate?
I think that's so hot. What's the matter?
do you-
Oh, let me see a picture. Here's a picture of your girlfriend I've never seen.
And then you can start.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Look at this. From not getting laid in high school. Wait,
I
Arnie?
know.
Let me see.
Robin?
I think I might have seen a picture of her somewhere.
Hold
Let me
it a
see if it's the
second.
same one.
This might be one of the hottest chicks on the planet. Look at that.
Yeah.
And those are real boobs, right?
Yes.
Look at this. And look at
For
this.
Wow.
now. For now.
Robin,
What?
you'll go get
Wow.
her. She's hot.
She's lovely.
The only thing bad
Wow.
about
Well,
this
I'm
picture is
happy for you.
the only thing bad about this picture is the Red Sox hat. That's it.
Yeah.
Let me see that. Red Sox hat.
No, that's a looker.
You can't see that, huh, Robin?
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
Boy, I
Yeah.
like her.
I look forward to ruining this relationship.
Will you ruin it?
No. But maybe for the bits.
Hey, well, I've done that.
Everything's for the material.
And you have phone sex with her?
Yeah.
Is she good at it?
Yeah, she's good at it, but I think I'm better.
Well, what do you do?
you
What
ever
do
feel?
you say?
Do you ever feel ridiculous having
Yeah,
phone sex?
I wanna
mean,
hear.
I get self-conscious. Pretend you're talking to Robin on the phone. What do you mean? You get nude in the bed in the hotel?
You know what it is? It's just, first of all, I have a very wide vernacular, so I know a lot of interesting
You watch
words.
a lot of porn.
Know a lot of the slang, the jargon. I'm a bit of a verbologist.
Yes, but with girls, you got to be careful. Like you can't say like
You
the word
can't creep
cunt,
'em out,
right?
yeah.
'Cause-
You can.
You can?
If you say it lovingly, like, oh, baby, you're a cunt.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the move.
but you gotta.
I wouldn't even try
Let
that.
me try
I
that.
think he's
You
going to
gotta-
get you into trouble.
Let me try that. Oh, baby, you can't.
No.
No.
No good? What was the difference?
I don't know. You sound like you just sat on something. I love you, pussy.
No, I mean, you got to be really careful because I know my wife. She gets
Girls
turned-
love confidence. So if you're confident even in your phone sex, that's why it's like you can be a comedian and be butt ugly and get laid, because if you have the confidence to make a room full of people laugh, women respond to that.
Do you begin? How do you get into it? Do you just say, "What are you wearing?"
Cunt.
No, I go just,
What are you wearing?
love that clip. Come on.
Do you open with cunt?
What do you open with? If you
A
don't mind.
song.
Okay. No, but what do you say? Hey, how was your day? Blah blah blah, and then you go, "Oh, baby, this girl's very very good looking. I can see
Yeah.
why you want to engage her." But what is the line? How do you get the move in?
We do some role playing sometimes, sometimes I pretend I'm a super spy, I'll be
Really?
like, I've infiltrated the base. And I know where you are.
Yeah.
See, I would keep that phone call going and call the cops on the other line.
You what?
You infiltrated the base?
I'm moving out.
I have the president of Costa Rica
tied
to a chair, and I will murder him if you don't suck my balls.
I'm sucking your balls. I see.
Please don't kill the president.
Please don't kill the president. The president of Costa Rica is changing the whole world.
See, when I role play with a hot chick,
Wait, there's a woman on the phone that wants to have phone sex with you.
let's see the skills.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
That's a dude.
How are you?
That's a guy.
Talk to her and give her some respect. Go
That's
ahead.
a guy. That's Gary or something with some voice modulator on.
Go ahead. Talk to Dane.
I'd like to help you come.
You're 75 years old.
You sound so youthful.
Oh, my.
I'm ready to fuck.
Oh, my God.
Can't get into it?
I want to tickle your prostate.
Oh, she sounds like a Haitian lady I used to work with at the nursing home.
Can I put my finger in your ass?
All right, honey. You're not turning him on.
That is horrible.
But that is amazing. It's some girlfriend you got there,
Yeah,
huh?
she's cool.
What does she weigh? Probably nothing.
What does she weigh?
I mean, unbelievable.
She's pretty thin.
How you meet a girl like that?
I met her.
Jennifer Aniston's house?
Huh, what?
I don't know, party.
I don't get her.
No.
No, I met her at the comedy club, of course.
No kidding.
Years ago.
She was at a show and
Yeah, she worked there.
look at you.
That's how it goes.
By the way, you can see Dane Cook and Friends tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the New York Comedy Festival. Is that true? It's in Madison Square Garden.
That's it.
Who's the friends? I mean, just different comics you respect?
Bill Burr is going to be there. A lot of guys I started with. You know, kind of the group I came up with. Robert Kelly, Gary Gulman is going to be on the show, and then I get some remote stuff from George Lopez, Sarah Silverman. I asked Artie if he wanted to swing in and do a set. I said, even though we're not friends,
That was very nice.
Dane Cook and acquaintances. For when,
Guys I kind of know.
The
guys that
garden.
are not.
Is the garden intimidating in the sense that it's such a big room? I mean, how do you play to the garden?
I was telling Dane that the biggest room I ever played was for something called Comics Come Home. When I did Rescue Me, Dennis Leary asked me to do something with him. A charity he always does. And it was 7,000 people.
Wow.
And because of being on this show, I'm able to do 4,000 or 5,000 sometimes, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's so when you come up playing 300 or 200 or even 100-person clubs, the timing is so different. It's like when you get a laugh, you almost have to wait for the wave of laugh to come down, and then it affects you.
Dane, there's not too many comics who play 20,000 seats.
Maybe 4 in history.
Yeah, how'd you learn how to do that? I mean, you went from small clubs to boom, 20,000 seats, no?
No, because like I said, man, this is 20 years on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
And so all through late 90s into 2000, I was doing all college stuff at like 10,000, sometimes seaters. And
wow.
I was building up a fan base for a long time before, people thought I was an overnight whatever.
No stage intimidates you, huh?
No.
Things sound good aside from losing 11 mil.
Things are good.
Yeah.
Girlfriend didn't threaten to leave when she heard you lost 11 mil?
No.
That's
She
a
knew I
keeper.
had a few bucks underneath the mattress.
She knows you have a couple of mil left. That's pretty good. Do you ever worry with a hot chick like that? I mean, when you go on the road, do you ever get jealous and worry that she could be fucking some guy on the side?
No. No, you can't think, that would be terrifying. I used to think like that. I was the paranoid guy for a long time, too.
Now you're secure.
Yeah, checking in every hour and all that stuff.
Vey.
Yeah, it took a long time to get through that crap.
What's the longest time you've been separated from this beautiful girl?
We were on and off for a little bit.
On and off for a little bit?
I was off for a year and dated some pretty amazing women. And then once I was done with that, back into...
You broke up with her?
Yeah.
And then you said you went out and dated?
Yes.
A couple of hot chicks?
I had to. Here's the thing: is when you're like the homely whatever kid in school, I told my family, I go, I want to date the most beautiful women in the world.
Right.
And so my goal when we were on this break, and then I was, kind of hanging out A-list, for a minute doing that. I was like, all right, I'm going for it.
Who will you date? Like famous chicks, right?
I don't really. I will for you tell one person who nobody knows that I dated.
Who is it?
Nice.
But I can. I
share.
I can't get too.
Who is it?
Oh, Howard meant share. Share.
Who is it?
The hottest woman in the world, very talented too. I'll give her props. Was the Pussycat Dolls?
Yeah.
Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lead singer.
You were dating her.
Yeah. She's
Nobody knew for about 7 or 8 months.
And that's a hot chick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But what happens there where you break
What
up?
doesn't?
Why? No, I'm saying what. I mean, why break up if it's that good? Sexually was good.
Well, because at the same time, it's like, Hollywood and people that are like, I don't want to date me,
right?
And she was just really very driven, and you can't be with that for a long time.
It's hard.
You don't want to be on a break. You don't want to be on a break and have to be like, I just want to fucking come home and sit, play some video games, and have your girl be like, oh, I'm in Morocco.
Right, you want to be with her.
Come see me. I'm in Nice, France.
Right.
Hop on the. It's like I'm a homebody. When I'm not doing shows, I just want to relax.
And this girl, she's with you.
But that was it. It was like, okay, she's cool. She's fan of my comedy. Make her laugh, and then make this dream come true from this awkward kid of like dating one of the hottest chicks for a minute.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. But everybody's happy now.
Wait, somebody else is on the phone wants to have phone sex.
No.
Maybe this will work out better. Let's try.
Howard.
Go ahead, honey.
Hello.
Okay, what do you want to say to Dane?
I love a hot load on my face.
Wow.
Well, who doesn't? Ultimately.
Right
Join
into
the
it.
club, pal.
You love a hot load on your
With his dick in my mouth.
I'm
Dick
sorry,
in my mouth.
what was that?
I once sucked a black cock.
Oh,
it
right.
was so big, I puked all over his balls.
You sound very pensive.
I don't think you
Got it, hot buns.
Buns.
You don't want to.
Talking. I'm getting ready to come.
All right,
Oh
easy
my God,
does
is
it.
that the computer voice from War Games?
That is unbelievable.
Do you want to play a game of chess?
Jim, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey Dane, big fan, man. I even let my kids listen to you. ages 16 to 9, man. I don't care. You're just friggin' hilarious, even
thank
though
you.
Artie doesn't think so.
Oh,
Artie, you
what
don't
do
think
say?
I'm funny?
I never said that.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm only kidding. Hey, Howard, did you ever see Dane's movie, My Best Friend's Girl?
Yes, with Kate Hudson.
Fucking hilarious.
So
But she admitted, though, that you guys hooked up.
she admits that the two of you had sex.
Yep.
This is a first.
Baby.
Why would I?
He's embarrassed to
you
have banged her,
deny it?
obviously.
No, unless I had cheated and I was trying to hide
Right.
something. But no, man, I didn't. We did not have a dalliance.
He would be the first to admit it, I'm sure.
She had a boyfriend.
Well,
She was with Dax Shepard.
let me tell you something. Sounds like a good life.
I
Sounds
can't
like you're
complain,
living the
man.
dream.
And you know what? Now I finally got to say I did Howard Stern.
I'm so glad you came in today.
I've been trying for years, man.
Wow.
I told Gary I was sending my first CD 10 years ago.
You happen to be a great guest.
Oh, thanks.
You talked
I'll be
about
funnier
stuff.
next time.
This was a good interview. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving you the 10. I bet you the audience would too.
All right.
I'm telling
It
you.
was a funny thing happened. I don't know if Dane remembers this. A couple of years ago, I was in Boston. I was doing a gig for the great Bill Blumenreich, who
Sure.
we both know,
Yep.
promoter up there.
God rest his soul.
And I was in front of my hotel in the car waiting to go to the gig.
Right.
And it was kind of a rainy night, and I was tired on the road, didn't want to go do this gig and everything. And I guess Dane was in a car right in back of me, and he noticed me walking in. I had never met him, and I hear a knock on the window. And it's Dane Cook, and he said, "Hey, Art, I just wanted to say hi." And I said, "Hey, Dane, how you doing, man?" He goes, "I'd love to come on the show sometimes, or Howard like it, blah blah blah." And he said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to do a gig out in New Hampshire, stand-up gig tonight." I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to make a movie with Drew Barrymore." He was on his way to the set of like an $80 million motion picture.
Hey, Dane, are you friends with these people in the sense that like you go to their parties, like you don't party with Drew Barrymore's house? I imagine there's a real wild scene going on.
No,
over
man.
there.
I'm like, I do my shows and the show's over. I'm
That's it.
kind of homebody,
Yeah, but when you
Well,
live in
that's
LA,
what I was wondering, because you were talking about
Nah.
making these friendships on the sets. Do you keep
I did
these
that
friendships?
when celebrities were like I used to hang out at the Laugh Factory, and like you'd look and like Bruce Willis would walk into the club next door, or like
Right.
Halle Berry. That
what I'm talking about.
I did that, But then,
But you don't get to go to-
change, and you're Spencer. You don't hang out with Spencer and fucking reality.
I don't mean that,
douches
but you
and-
don't get to go to Angelina Jolie's Christmas party at Brad's house.
I get invited to a lot of stuff, but I'm selective. I don't.
You don't go to- you
I've
don't-
never been invited to Angelina Jolie's.
You don't go to David Arquette's house every Sunday in Malibu for the big
You're
party.
not playing basketball with them?
You don't play at Gary Shandling's house.
Oh yeah, the big badminton tournament.
What's going on? Gary Shandling has a badminton tournament going on. All right, listen, it's good to see you still have your head on straight.
Thanks, man.
I haven't gotten carried away. Where are you off to next? next to promote? I understand you got a very busy schedule.
Yeah. The tour rages on. It goes all the way through to, when I hit, like I said, 20 years, it'll be my hometown of Boston on New Year's Eve at the Boston Garden.
And today you're doing a bunch of promotions as well, right? You're doing a bunch of interviews.
Yeah.
Where are you going to next? That's what I want to know.
Alexa Chung, baby.
Alexa Chung.
She seems to be on the rise.
Oh, yeah? You're going to talk to her?
Yeah, she's apparently a model who has a talk show.
No kidding.
Is that
But
right?
everybody, it's the hot thing.
Will you seduce her?
Will I seduce her?
Yes.
If she wants me to do the phone sex, then I...
It was good to have you here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, really enjoyed meeting you.
Hello.
Dane, how'd it go, man?
It was very good, man. I had a good time in there. Finally busted my Howard cherry. I've been trying to get on here for 10 years.
Yeah, he said he wished you would have came on earlier, and he said you were a good guest. How does that feel coming from Howard?
Very good, man. This is the guy who meets everybody. Howard knows everybody. So getting the thumbs up is I'm going to have a good day today.
And what do you think about that phone sex? 2 callers.
Probably
called
one
phone
of
sex.
the most embarrassing things. I'm sure if I ever hear it on playback, I will cringe.
Yeah, but you say you're so good at it, though.
I am pretty good at it, but I got to be more in the moment, and there has to be a girl. I'm looking at Howard, and I'm trying to reenact phone sexual
The first
moments.
one was a girl.
I don't know about that. That was an old girl.
She's dead, but she was a girl. So you had a good time today, man?
I did, man. It was fun. I look forward to. They asked me to come back, and hopefully, maybe I'll be a friend of the show. That would be kind of cool.
Nice, man.
Yeah, put me on the speed dial, and I'll call in or come in and hang.
Cool. All right, thanks for
All right,
stopping
you
by.
got it. Later.
Lou Henner, Mary Lou, of course, used to be the star of Taxi.
That's right.
She's written a whole bunch of health books. She used to fuck John Travolta. I remember that. I mean, bang. She talked properly about that.
Well, she loves sex. She admits that.
Loves sex, loves the smell of a man, loves the taste of a man. But more importantly than anything, which I'm shocked. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hi.
I'm more shocked than anything that all the times I had you on the show and spoke to you, you never mentioned this autobiographical superpower you have.
Well, it's so weird because, I've always had it. I've talked about it a lot. I was on Bob Costas talking about it in the Today Show, in different shows. People would ask me about it. But, I never knew it was that unique. The whole 60 Minutes thing has surprised me probably most of all because I had no idea it's being considered a superpower. It's crazy.
That means, according to the piece on 60 Minutes, which I saw, Mary Lou's brain is one of only 6 that they know about in the world. Her brain
So
is actually,
far, yeah.
It's actually larger than most people. Have you ever been tested IQ-wise?
I'm sure when I was little at school, but I never knew what it was or anything.
Were you super intelligent in school?
I was. I was very smart in school. I was one of those good little Catholic school girls. I got 4 scholarships to go to the University of Chicago. I was,
Wow. You see, it seems like...
But that has nothing to do with it because a lot of the people, in fact, the first woman who came forward, she talks about the fact that she was not a good student. Some of the other people in the group felt like they were not good students at all.
They've
Louise and I
only
both said
found,
we
they've
were.
only found that 6 people in the world so far have this ability. And by the way, Mary Lou has procreated. She has children, which is good because I want this genetic...
Well, do the children have it?
It's my younger one. I have 2 boys, 15 and 16 years old, and they both are super intelligent. My son, who's 16, is graduating, and he already got into Columbia University next year.
But do they have that ability?
Well, my younger one does.
He does.
He doesn't want to own it yet, but he's got the greatest memory I've ever seen on anyone else.
But does he have autobiographical memory?
He can tell you, he doesn't, have his, he can't say, oh, a certain day was a Monday or Tuesday and things like that. But I know that if he really wanted to, he could. But he remembers every detail. No, Mom, that was 3 weeks ago, and stuff like that.
For those of you who didn't see this piece on 60 Minutes, and Mary Lou's referring to the fact that her son is still developing his superpowers. But Mary Lou has a superpower.
When did it kick in for her? Because that
11.
was also.
Well, what's interesting? I mean, I can remember back to 2 years old, 1 year old, 5 years old, but it really like gelled at 12. Mm-hmm. And but I still remember 10, 11. All.
Let me explain to people what your power is, because maybe some people didn't see 60 Minutes or hear my show yesterday. The superpower is called autobiographical memory. So the way it works is, if I said to Mary Lou, Sunday, no, I don't even have to say Sunday. Let's say I said November 4th, 1972. She could tell
November 4th, 1972 was a Saturday.
And you could tell me what the weather was that day.
Well, in Chicago.
What was the weather in Chicago that day?
Well, this is so funny. November 4th, 1972. I know exactly what I was doing on that day.
You're probably blowing John Travolta.
No.
Go ahead.
I didn't even meet him until 3 weeks later.
Oh, I see.
Yes. No, actually, I went to a restaurant called Gaya's Restaurant in Chicago. I was at the University of Chicago, and I was also in a show, Good Woman of Sichuan. And
what was the weather that day?
It was cold. Well, it was always cold in Chicago, but it was particularly cold, and I remember the dress I had on.
They say that it might sort of be like OCD, this amazing ability.
It's weird. It lies in the same place in the brain, but I might like an organized closet, but believe me, 1 in 6 of us had to be organized, so I came from a big messy family. I don't have like phobias, or I don't have a germ thing, or I don't obsess on things. And
How deep does the power go? In other words, would you know what your waiter looked like that day at the restaurant?
Oh, definitely. Oh, no, I totally know what I looked like. Oh, what's so funny is that I can tell you, like, what I weighed, who I was dating all the time, what I was wearing, what I was doing. And it's funny because I was practically a grown-up before I realized other people couldn't do it.
Do you remember?
And do you remember everybody's name?
Names, it's like I remember. It's very experiential. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
I'm in my body when I think back to it. I see myself at a party that night. I see myself at this restaurant that night. And I feel like I'm walking through the crowd, or I'm talking to somebody, and so.
But when I mention a date and I say to you such and such a date, and then you go, "Oh, that was a Sunday."
What do I see?
No. When you say that was a Sunday, in other words, you don't even have to go through a process. You just know that was a Sunday, that date.
Well, how
does that work?
I don't know. In the 60 Minutes when my son was asking me dates, because what's funny, I spent 4 days with 60 Minutes, so you can imagine what I went through. In fact, one of the days, I ended up answering. They gave me every memory test known to man. I mean, every test that has ever been conceived to test somebody's brain. So it wasn't just about autobiographical. It was everything else: visual, sequential, numerical. Every single test that has ever been designed.
Do you have to? Let's say I said to you, "Give me Bob Smith's phone number." Would you?
Well, phone numbers have always been easy for me because I can always associate them with dates.
So you don't need a Rolodex. In other words, if I say anybody's phone number, as long as you've processed that number in your head somewhere, it'll come up.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Do you remember what happened to us, me and you, in July of 98?
In July of 98, I was doing, you mean at the Four Seasons?
Wow. Unfucking believable. You do remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember the exact date?
It was during the middle of the week. I went with, it was July 16th.
That's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I ran into her. What happened that day in July?
It's probably, okay, so July 16th, 1998 was a Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Right. And so in the afternoon, I had a big brunch at my house, and I was working on one of my books. I was still.
When you say you had a big brunch, what did you eat?
I had like a big salad, cold noodles with sesame sauce, you know, I
Did you make Did you make a big duty that day?
Oh my God!
Do you remember even that?
I'm a healthy girl. I know that you're healthy now, Robin, too. It's making
I
a
am.
difference.
Do you
doesn't it?
remember the day that you had your biggest duty? Do you?
I'm not going to get into the duty
No,
talk.
wait a second. Do you remember the day you had your biggest duty?
The biggest in my life?
Yeah.
As a healthy person?
Yes.
Oh, it's every day.
It's every day.
Floaters, not sinkers.
Do you remember on on July 15th, 1994, how many duties you made? I'm being serious.
You know,
Do you
I don't know.
You don't know. Does it play like a movie in front of you?
I'll tell you how you know what's so incredible? I've been describing my memory for so long to people that I used to call it, I said, it's like going to a card catalog, okay? Because I wanted people to sort of know what the access, you know, how you access it.
Right.
And for me, once I saw selected scenes on a DVD the first time, I went, oh my gosh, this is what it's like. And what happens to me is that the entire year, when you say a year, it sort of like runs itself through and left to right, almost like a timeline. And I see all the little selected scenes of the year, like in a calendar way, but more next to each other, not in a page flipping way.
I see it as a blessing, but Robin was saying yesterday it could be a curse, and one of the people in 60 Minutes didn't want to come in, sees it as a curse because they can't even forget. I would think it would be a blessing in my life because, like, I do routines about my parents, let's say, that like this morning. I would be able to access all of the conversations and hear them again, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I lost my parents really young. I was 17 when my father died. And he died a horrible way, and so did my mother. And I saw both of them die.
How did they die?
And he died during an argument with my brother when we were having a Christmas party at our house.
Was he killed?
No, not
What,
at all.
Did he have a heart attack? Oh.
And you can play that over in your head.
I can, over and over. And my mother died of arthritis. She was a dancing teacher and lost her
Let me
leg.
ask you something.
It's horrible.
Wait a second. Go back to your father. The day your father died, he was in an argument with your brother. You can recall the entire event.
Yes.
Do you remember your father's last sentence?
He had already kind of passed out when I came into because we were having this huge party in our backyard because we had a dancing school in our backyard in our garage.
Right.
And so I came in when he had already gone into it.
So
but I know that my father's, I know my father's last words to me at the party. But that's something I think people would remember anyway.
Yeah, they would remember that.
Yeah, they would remember that anyway. So it's not so much things like that. But don't forget, as an actress, anything, it was never... When you only know something, it's not weird to you. You know, it was never weird to me to have a great memory because I've always had it.
Yeah, but does it work like
people could too?
As an actress, when you were on Taxi, they hand you the script. Could you read it once and then completely have it memorized because you've read it once?
No, it's not so much a photographic memory. That's what photographic memory is. Although I have a very strong photographic memory because that's an easy. I can sit there and have the experience of reading through it and then almost see the page in front of me. But it's not like I can read a script once and then know the words.
What was the
maybe 3 times and I'll know the words.
What day was it that you first saw your first pubic hair down there?
Stop.
I'm serious.
I know you really have to veer this conversation.
No, I want to know because I don't remember.
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Isn't that funny?
Do you remember the day you got your period?
Do you remember?
It's one that sprouts out. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
what was the day?
You go ooh, that's it. Stuff like that.
What was the first day you had an orgasm?
Gosh, then the person will know who. No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead.
I'm not telling you that.
Why not?
Because
you were never uptight about sex.
What?
When did you get uptight about sex?
No, maybe because I have teenage boys. How about that?
So what? Who cares?
I have a 15 and 16-year-old. No, I don't have to go into that.
When did you have your first orgasm? But do you know the date?
I do.
Right,
what about when you got your period? Was that a shocker? And where were you? And the whole thing.
What was the date? Your period. Wait, better yet, what was the date? The first time you swallowed a man's...
Oh, I know that for sure.
Go ahead. What is it? What's the date?
No, I'm not letting this veer off into that.
Come on.
You want to talk about some of the other stuff?
All right, how's this?
What?
What was the weather like on the day you first swallowed a man's jism?
Beautiful.
It was beautiful out.
Beautiful out.
And...
Was it daytime or night?
Was it night or day?
Evening.
Evening.
Don't forget, I'm a good Catholic school girl. We do everything. No,
here's a test.
Penetration's the mortal sin. Everything else is venial. So we get good at the venial stuff.
Mary Lou Henner. You appeared on my show 4 times. Give me the 4 dates.
Oh, gosh. 4 times. Let's see. Well, first of all, do you know that I was supposed to be on your show Friday, September 9th of 1994?
What happened?
I was in New York. I didn't make it because my little boy, he was 5 months old at the time. He was sick. But it had nothing to do with the fact that the day before you were kind of nasty to my good friend Fran Drescher. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember. I'm friends with Fran.
Yeah, she's a doll.
Yeah.
She's a great girl. Okay, so I did end up on the show a couple weeks later talking, and that was September. It was Friday, September 23rd of 1994.
It says here you never appeared on a Friday.
What?
It says the first time you appeared on the show.
Uh-huh.
You say September?
Yeah.
What?
Howard, these are when she phoned in. These are all.
Oh, these are phone-ins.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, Gary.
Oh,
She's right, and we're wrong. We're wrong. These are phoners?
But I remember in when you came to L.A.,
yes.
And I had to come super, super early in the morning.
You're right.
Yeah, and it was at the Comedy Store, I think. Yeah, wasn't it? You were in that, and I remember Robin, was in like a funny little boothy thing, kind of thing.
Do you know let me just understand this. Do you understand the 4? Can you recall the 4 days that you called into the show?
I think I can. I mean, I'm not 100% sure because it's a phone call, so I'm standing in my kitchen or my bathroom.
This is insane.
Wait, you got to hear this, Howard. So we went through the logs yesterday, and we couldn't find when she was in studio,
right? And
it was making us crazy, so we couldn't find it. September 23rd, that day she's talking about. Jason just went look back. Her name's spelled wrong in the log. She's right. We're wrong.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy stuff. This is crazy. I should have made love to you.
Oh, my gosh.
This is such a mistake.
You would have remembered that.
Was there any opportunity for you to make love to her? What are you talking about?
I think she wanted it from me at one point.
I always found you sexy, Howard. You know that.
I think I could have gotten her.
Judith Regan and I always talked about how much we loved you. Always.
Man.
Do you remember the first time? I remember the first time I met Judith.
No, but wait a second. Give me one of the dates that you called into the show.
Let's see. Also, let's see. Tuesday, April. It was in '96. April 30th.
You are completely correct.
Oh, wow.
This is insane. Do you realize the superpower this woman has, and that eventually
what can you do with it?
This is
well, I'm writing a book about it because I know I can help other people. Because I don't want to do this just like let's bring out the little wind-up toy. That's so not what I want to do. I'm all about helping people, and I know that the scientists are going crazy over this because they feel like it's going to be great for Alzheimer's and other brain problems, et cetera, and just tapping into something that's never been tapped into before. And so in my book, which comes out in May, so I'll definitely come on again and talk about it. I'm talking about what it's like to not only be in this head, but also how to help other people learn how to access information, store it, and then retrieve it.
Really?
Because,
you could teach somebody to do that.
I teach classes at MaryLou.com, and I have memory classes. I have a focus group. I know.
Yeah, but you've got that brain. We don't have that.
Yeah, but it's also the brain is a muscle, and so the more you exercise,
I could have all the muscles in the world. I could never do what you do.
I can't turn anybody into this. I know that.
You're amazing.
But it's definitely something that that you can. I just spent a week with my sister, so I know some of the things that she'll refer to something, and I'll say no, it was this day, and then all of a sudden
she doesn't have the power.
She doesn't have the power. Everybody in my family is really smart, and they have great memories.
I heard she can turn invisible. Is that true?
You got the memory. She got invisibility.
She got invisibility.
Oh, that's a nice one to have.
And her dad used to be able to run really fast.
Oh, my gosh. that would be your favorite.
And your mother died horribly, too?
Oh, my mom was a dancing teacher. We had this dancing school in our backyard with 200 students between the ages of 2 and 80, including the nuns who came over for stretch classes, because we lived next door to a Catholic Catholic church.
Yeah.
And my mom also ran a beauty shop in our kitchen with 25 women from the neighborhood.
No wonder she died young. She was exhausted.
Yeah. And so anyway, so she was incredible, and she had this dancing school. And then after my father died, the stress just took over her body, and she ended up having horrible rheumatoid arthritis, and she died from the complications of it, and ended up losing her leg. And it was terrible. It was
awful.
No, terrible ways. And my parents were fabulous people. They created this environment for our neighborhood that people still talk about today. You know, it was just this little like gem right in the middle of all of it.
Hey, baby, let me ask you something personal. How are you holding up? Are you looking good?
Oh yeah.
Body still tight?
I'm going to be on the Today Show tomorrow, and then next week I'm a judge on the Miss Universe pageant, and then I'm coming back to New York to do The View, and then
is the body holding up or what?
What?
How's the body look?
Good. I should come in and see you when I come back to New York.
You're not kidding. With these new superpowers, I can't get enough of you. I'm totally turned on.
It's so funny. And you're happy too. I'm happily married now too.
4 times,
the love
right?
Of my life.
Weren't you married like 4 times?
No, 3. But
3.
It's because I was waiting for this one. I've known Michael since the first year of college at the University of Chicago, but he was my college roommate's boyfriend.
This dude she married, she took her from her college roommate.
No.
Number one.
How about
Mary Lou is like sexual dynamite. She's sexual dynamite, but I'll tell you
She's
what.
Sexual napalm.
She's sexual napalm. Hey, she loves sex so much, Mary Lou Henner. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. She even told me she loves the smell, the taste of a man. Right? You
that's
love.
in my book. Yeah, I do. Oh,
and she made love to almost everyone on the show Taxi.
Except Danny DeVito.
But she found him sexy.
5 years, and we worked with 77 guys all day. Come on.
Well, listen
2
to
out
this.
of 77.
She banged Travolta. She banged Tony Danza. Who evidently is an animal. He would have sex anywhere and do animal. Why was he such an animal, Mary Lou? I don't even remember.
It's that energy. It's that Tony energy. But, you know.
He banged you in weird places, right?
Yeah.
In the butt? No.
No, not the butt. And also she made love to... Now, okay, you get Travolta, you get, Tony, but even Judd Hirsch she fucked. I mean, banged, excuse me.
I adore Judd. They were, these were great guys.
What was the weather like
70s.
under Judd Hirsch's balls on January 12th, 1984?
Oh, I wasn't with him then.
Wow, the
I don't
memory
know.
on you. And you remember every sexual moment, right? I mean, it all plays out.
It's all... Well, see, I really believe that because a person has been through their lives, it's in there somewhere. That's why people, when they get Rolfed or something, or some kind of change in their body or whatever, certain memories come back because it's all stored somewhere in our muscles and in our psyche and our hard drive.
That's what hypnotists will say.
Yeah.
If you really take a person back to the day, you can walk them through it just like they're there.
The experts say that we only access not even like 10% of our brain power.
Right.
So I believe what Mary Lou is, she is one of those people that she is what we're going to look like.
She got an extra couple of percent.
She's going to look like what we do in the future, and that she is the beginning of a mutation in the human existence, that eventually we will have these superpowers.
Oh, I'm excited about that. That's
compared to her, we're like Gary the retard.
We're Charlie when he goes back.
Right. We're retarded compared to her, but we have this. She is the future. Don't you see?
Well, wait a minute. Let me just ask you something.
We're frogs.
Excuse me. Are you plagued by any of these memories? Are there things you would rather not have in your head?
Really not. Because, and you know what? This is
first time she met me.
Wait, what did you say?
I said the first time you met me.
Oh, well, you know what it is? It's like this. It's like if you process it in some way that it's just part of you, it doesn't become this like crazy emotional boogeyman. Like, oh, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at it. When you do that, then it really has power over you.
Well, the reason I ask is because people who have something really traumatic happen to them, they already are stuck with that memory, and sometimes they can never break out of it. Like it marks them for the rest of their lives.
Right.
Like that could be dangerous in a memory like yours.
Like mine.
The most tragic things certainly have been what's happened to my parents and things like that.
Right.
But but because it's such a part of me, and there are like lessons to be learned from things, and I just never, I can't say that anything so horrible to me happens that I would want to block talk it out. So maybe other people feel differently. I don't know. I'm not in their heads. But for me, even the most horrible things that have happened to me, it's a part of my life and part of my story.
Do you ever lose your keys? Is it possible for you to lose your keys? No.
You know what? I could be like, where did I put them? And then I'll just retrace, and I'll be like, okay, that's where they're going to be.
Wow.
You know,
an
so
ability.
it's like that.
I mean, this is just unbelievable to me.
Thank you.
Do you think your powers go so deep that, like, have you ever witnessed a crime, but they needed to know, like, a person who was standing in the background and you could draw up the whole picture of what was going on?
That's never happened to me, but yeah, I could probably do that. I was involved in a deposition, and because of the details of my observations, they threw the whole case out. They changed it because my deposition was so, like, crazy thorough.
Who was the best lover, Judd Hirsch, Tony Danza, or
all different
Travolta?
All different. Very different. And I have different relationships with those guys, of course. I mean, Johnny and I practically grew up together.
Do you know how many times, do you know every date of when you had sex with John Travolta?
I know every date that I spent with anybody in my life.
Wow.
Let's put it that way. Do I sit and calculate them constantly? No. But could I, it's like, this is what's interesting about thinking about anything.
What was the weather like the first time you made John Travolta, when you first made love to him?
Oh,
seriously?
I know. It was actually it was in San Francisco, so it was kind of
Of course.
Yeah. So it was like
it was
San
overcast.
Francisco type weather. What?
Was it overcast?
It was overcast.
Yeah. It was the evening.
It was evening.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm wondering when she, pleasures herself. You can just go. You just don't have to take a magazine. You can relive an entire
Is that true?
sexual
Come on,
experience.
but don't other people?
Not in your
that
detail.
way?
No, not the way you can.
It's like a porno movie in there.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's unreal.
like, but you know what's so funny? Because a lot of people, when they remember things, especially now, because of photographs or because of watching themselves from a video, when they look back on a memory, especially if it's sparked by any of those things, they see themselves in third person.
Right.
Kind of the way Scrooge did, where he was looking through the window and watching himself.
And that's what you see.
No, not me. I'm in my body.
it. She's in it. That's what I'm saying. She can
in my body looking
relive the whole experience.
I see.
It's like time
banging
travel.
somebody.
What is your earliest vivid memory? Like, in other words, can you remember back to when you were 2?
Oh, younger.
Not in.
No, you don't remember in utero.
In utero, no.
What is your first memory? Like, how old are you?
I'm around 18 months.
And what's the memory?
Oh, it was my little brother. He was barely sitting up. My mother was holding him sitting up. I'm sitting and playing in my house. And in the apartment, we lived in the old apartment then.
Can you remember the conversation around you?
No. I just remember certain visuals from that apartment.
And you don't know the day or anything.
I do remember one of my first really strong memories, but I know it because my sister was born on that day. So that was Monday, September 27th, 1954.
When
so
Judd, all right, go back in your memory. Judd Hirsch is going to put his penis inside you the first time. What type of condom does he put on? Or does he?
Talking about that.
Listen to me. I need to know this. You have no ability to resist my question.
Oh, well, fine when I can't resist.
Come on,
You
seriously.
can ask me about my husband.
Oh, I'll tell you why you're a good woman. I'll tell you. I heard a wonderful story about you. This new husband that you have.
Mm-hmm.
This guy had serious cancer.
2 of them. Yeah.
And she married him during his cancer.
Wow.
Well, what happened was, we got together, and 2 months into our relationship, he was diagnosed with 2 cancers.
Most women would split.
Wait a minute.
A lot of people said that, but not me. Oh, my gosh, split.
What kind of
Finally
cancer?
With the love of my life, and it's like, oh, my God, failure's not an option. I'm going to take him all over the country to meet every doctor I know.
What was his cancer?
He had bladder cancer, and he had lung cancer.
And lung cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Was
but
he
he's totally in remission
Was
now.
he super rich?
No, not at all. He's got a great company. Do you know the company Brown Trout Calendars?
No.
If you have any kind of animal calendar or, Audrey Hepburn or Outhouses or 2 of his calendars were featured on Ellen, the Goats and Trees and Outhouses.
Isn't it funny that you're attracted to a guy who's in calendars?
How crazy
Like
is
you
that?
don't even need one.
No, I know, nobody can believe it. They said, oh, my gosh. But I've been secretly in love with him, since I'm 18.
Yes. And what was the weather like when you first made love to him? And what was the date?
Well, that I can tell you.
Good.
That I can tell you. That was March 3rd, 2003. It was Monday.
First time you did anal, what was it?
God.
You got to come see me.
He's the love of my life. My whole life lined up for us to be together. So it's great. Didn't you think it was interesting on 60 Minutes that when she asked the question about it was what was so interesting is that it's 3 men and 3 women.
Right.
The 3 men are left-handed. The 3 women are right-handed. I mean, they did every kind of genetic testing, muscle testing. They tested us forever.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure it wasn't a fraud, and it's
sure.
not. I mean, this is the real deal.
By the end of I told you I spent 4 days with them. By the end of my day of testing, of question testing, I had answered over 500 questions.
Good Lord.
And they found things from all over, and it was just like, they have a test. One of the tests that they do has 60 questions to it, and most people get 0 to 3 correct. And I got 47.
Wow.
And the ones that I didn't know never crossed my radar, couldn't associate them with anything. And that was just like that was like a memory test.
It is
for
amazing.
Dates and stuff.
It's amazing. I'm amazed by it.
You know what? I think a lot of people will come forward and they're going to find a lot more of us. I mean, a lot more. I'm sure. I'm sure it's not as phenomenon.
I'm going to pick a random date. This will be the final question.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to pick a random date. And you tell me what happened on that day in history. Now,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not like a history
I don't mean
buff.
history, but tell me what happened to you that day. Maybe something phenomenal happened that day, or maybe it was just an ordinary day.
Because it is autobiographical. It
That's
doesn't
right. I
necessarily
understand.
have to do anything with history.
Because there are a lot of people who are on the autism spectrum who, and I'm not on the autism spectrum at all. But, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not connected to that at all. There are people who have Asperger's or autism, and they, you can name a date,
Right.
in his, like in the 1200s.
What happened to you on the 15th of August, 1975?
Oh, the 15th of August, 1975. I know exactly. It was a Friday. It was. Did somebody call in about this?
No. I randomly. I just thought of the number.
Oh, August 15th, 1975. It was a Friday. It was my 3rd date with somebody that I ended up being involved with for 3 years, and it was the first time that we
made love.
Made love. Yeah.
Who was it?
An old boyfriend of mine from the Grease days.
Oh, Travolta.
But not Travolta. No, I knew Johnny from 72. We met in 1972.
And what's all this stuff? Well, he's not into chicks. He's into chicks, right? He's
into me. I can't attest to anyone else.
What do you think's going on there? Maybe he just likes it all.
So.
What do you think? What's your speculation on that?
He was definitely into it. So
let me guess who the guy was on this.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
Grease guy,
No,
Jeff
he's a good friend
Conaway?
of mine.
Jeff Conaway.
No. Jeff and I we're always like brother and sister.
Well,
no,
I got to tell
Jeff
you
and I.
something. This is very impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I am very turned on by you.
Hey, Howard.
What is
I'll
it,
come
Benji?
and see you when I come back.
Yeah, you got to let me look you over. I want to see how you're holding up.
Okay.
How old are you now?
I'm 58.
58?
Yeah.
You don't have to come see me then.
Oh, okay.
You're like, no, I'm just joking.
So funny.
You're 58 and you're holding up good, huh?
I'm holding up good. Well, it's that vegan diet. It's good. That plant-based food,
I know you can remember anything, but don't remember 58.
I try to forget that.
You try to forget that one. What is it,
See, that's the
Benji?
problem. You can't forget.
I'm going to live a long, long time.
Hey, Mary Lou.
Happy.
Mary Lou,
What?
when you say, you can remember, you can see what happened at 18 months, can you actually remember thoughts in your head?
Yes.
What were you thinking at 18 months?
I was thinking that, I wanted to help her hold up my little brother. And I was thinking, like the day my sister was born, I can remember thinking I can't wait to play with her. And I can remember actually before, that was like a very vivid day, but I can remember even before that because I loved to sing. My whole life I have loved to sing.
Do you have any belief or do you have any memories of a past life?
There are things that happen to me, especially in France, where I go, oh, I've been here before. So little things like that. Or I'll go to a country or I'll go to a place and I'll say, I've been here before.
Have you ever tried to look into that and test that at all?
I haven't. I should do that. But
So do you believe in God and do you believe in reincarnation?
I definitely believe in I don't know if he doesn't have like a white robe and long hair, but I definitely believe in a higher power.
Do you remember meeting God in a past life?
Well, I was definitely the kid sitting in church who thought she could see the statues breathing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like.
Well, I think you're just sugaring
felt very connected to in a spiritual way. So
I am very curious about all of this. This is wild stuff. You understand?
Really?
This is the closest thing I have to Superman. I want superpowers. I want them. I want them. I want them.
Well, then I'm definitely going to have to come on when I tell you about my book. So, because I know I can help people. I know it, and I'm so excited about that.
What are you going to wear?
I don't know. I probably, something that shows off the fact that I eat well.
Yeah, something tight. What is it, Gary?
Could Mary Lou go to Vegas and play blackjack and count cards? Is that part of it?
It's so funny. No, although I would remember a lot of. I'm not a card counter. I was just in Vegas last week with 28 family members for Christmas week, and I'm going back to Vegas next week for the Miss America pageant. And so, I don't want them to think.
So in other words, your point is she could possibly remember every card that's been put out.
You would think. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I want in the memory test that I did. Oh, I also want to say I have a Hallmark movie, Mulligan, which is really fun. So I want to talk about that too. But anyway, I would remember if I really concentrated while I was sitting there. I understand like the order and the sequence and the chronology of things.
Wow.
So I could probably tell people like 4 hands ago you had this and I had this. Numbers and. Especially if I related things to dates.
The phones are burning up. What is it, Frosty?
Oh,
Go ahead,
really?
quick for Mary Lou. What do you want to say?
Hey, Howard, I just wanted to ask Mary Lou if she can tell me the dates, the day of the week, and what the weather was like the first time she got anal.
Oh, God.
It was very cloudy. She's very uptight about sex.
No.
All right, thanks.
All right, go ahead, Mel. What do you want to say?
Hey, now, Howard. Can anybody say hoax? Fred,
Hoax?
Hoax.
Can I hear a cuckoo bird, Fred?
Wait a second,
Hey,
Mel, wait a second.
What are you saying? You're in on this?
This is unbelievable. This woman, because my guys are such morons, they wrote her name wrong in the computer. I asked her the first time she was on the show. I said, no, it's wrong. And then they went back and checked. They spelled her name wrong.
And she was right.
And she knows. She could tell you the weather, and we can go back and check it.
Well,
There's no hoax here.
It just sounds fishy, and
it does sound fishy, but it's real.
Yeah, that's so weird. Well, I mean, go to UC Irvine, University of California at Irvine, and talk to the people there.
Watch the 60 Minutes report on it. It was a fascinating report. There's no way
and they
you could
tested
fake
her
it.
and tested her and tested her.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was crazy how many things.
I just said to the woman, when did you call into my show? She picked out the date and knew what day of the week it was.
Well, that's fascinating, but will she ride the Sibian later today?
Yes. When she comes in, she'll be riding the Sibian. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Mary Lou, you got to get on that thing. People don't give a shit about your memory.
I guess not.
Anyway, I do.
They're not as involved as you are.
Mary Lou, it's so good to speak with you.
So great to talk to you, too, again.
Let me do the plugs. You got the book coming out. You got the special on the Hallmark special.
Yes, it's called Mulligan, and it's with Jenny Garth, and Peter Facinelli wrote it.
Okay.
And I have a movie this summer called Vamps with Alicia Silverstone and Sigourney Weaver, Richard Lewis, your pal.
Right.
So,
right.
all good stuff. And,
good.
And come see me at marylou.com because I teach classes and I'm in the chat room and, talk to people all the time.
Any pictures?
Yeah, some good ones.
What are you wearing?
Different things. You'll see.
All right, very good. I like it. All right, Mary Lou, thank you. Mary Lou
Okay,
Henner,
guys.
the amazing superwoman, Mary Lou Henner. I am just shocked.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
I need a superpower. Oh, if I had that.
You have a superpower. You're
What
the
is
king
that?
of all media.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. What am I going to do with that?
I think people would say you've done a lot with it.
I'm blown out by that. Are you guys blown out by this?
I think it's fascinating, but I don't think necessarily that clear a memory is good for everyone.
I hear what you're saying, but
I mean, just imagine you were raped.
I was.
Oh.
I forgot about it.
Thank God you have no memory.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, you would relive that over and over and over.
Right.
Again.
It would be horrible for you.
But she describes that you have to access that. But then she probably would be focused on it.
But that's the point. When people have something traumatic like that happen, you know, the thing you want them to do is try to forget it, lessen the sting. And these people would have such detailed memories of it that it would be just horrible for them.
I want it. It's like being in a movie theater. And
Listen,
you're in the movie.
look at what your few memories have done to you.
That's the thing. I really want to know what happened. Who knows if these are made up or...
I know they're all made up. You exaggerate everything.
How dare you.
JD.
Yes.
If you possessed Mary Lou-like superpowers, how would you use that to your advantage?
How would I use it to my advantage? Huh. I don't know. The only thing you can sort of use to your advantage is like knowing stuff for the future. You know, remembering stuff. God, there's a lot of things I wish I could forget. So I don't even know if I'd want this ability. I mean,
so the ability to remember every detail would be almost like your worst nightmare, not a superpower.
Well, I don't want to say worst nightmare. I mean, there's some cases where I wish I would remember something that's, you know, where you can remember a zinger for against someone. I don't know. But I don't see like gaining an advantage, like, you know, getting laid more, unless the girls are, you know, or earning money. I don't know. So. Yeah, you're mockingly laughing at my exclamation. That it?
That's it. Fly away, superhero. Jason, if you possessed Mary Lou-like superpowers,
I kill myself. I'd be dead. Listen, all I do is remember the bad shit in my life anyway, and I fucking torture myself by thinking about it. And then if I had that, where I could like pull up conversations and hear them word for word in my head, I fucking go nuts. I do that already. Well, but not as good as her. But at the end of the day, I replay conversations in my head. I get driven crazy, things that I said wrong, things that other people said wrong. If I had her power and I could remember the first time I noticed I had back hair, or knew every time somebody picked on me, or every time I was embarrassed or ashamed of my body, I'd fucking jump out a window. I wouldn't have made it to 15 years old, I don't think. So it's probably best I don't have that ability. Unless it also came with flying.
If I remembered everything, fuck good is that? Let me think. What was the question?
if you had Mary Lou-like superpowers, how would you use them to your advantage?
You mean her great ass? I'd probably flaunt it in front of guys like John Hine, Jason Kaplan. What? She has a good memory. What did they say? Count cards? Count cards. Probably would be higher up on the food chain than the phone answer. And yeah, what did you ask me?
So it means I can remember like everything that happened to me. I would remember the first time that I yelled about Steve Langford that it just doesn't matter, and I would have just let it go. No, I don't know. I don't know what good that. I smoke too much weed to have that power. You know what I mean? I think even if I had it, I would have killed it by now. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
That question's null and void.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Much like me and Megan Fox having sex, there's no point for me to even think about that because it's just not gonna happen.
I think it would be tough because there are things obviously in your life that you want to remember, and there are other moments that you absolutely never want to relive again. So it would be very cool from a sports geeky trivia or want to like remember a great family moment sort of way. But there are other things which we're all embarrassed about that we wouldn't want to constantly relive. It's very cool and that you can do it. And but I wonder if it's hard for her or anyone else to sleep.
If you get me the
The burden could become too heavy.
It's a blessing.
And if it's decent, I'll give you an hour.
How would you use that to your advantage?
Somehow to get rid of you.
How would that work with a sequential memory?
Get you out of my fucking life.
No, you would remember everything that we've done together. You'd remember every conversation we've had. You would remember.
I'd probably kill myself then. Does I have to remember everything I said to you and dealt with you?
I think that would bring you great joy.
No, I think I would kill myself.
Mr. Salem?
Just let your head drop.
If you possessed Mary Lou Henner's superpowers, how would you use them to your advantage?
You see me just take my glasses off. I'm going to put on my costume, and I'm going to superpowers. I'm going to go in a phone booth and change my clothes.
Why would you need a uniform? Just because your memory is
It
great.
says God's gift to bowling on the back. You ever saw that?
I've seen it. I've lived it.
Yes. If I possessed her superpowers,
Yes.
what would I do?
Yes.
I'd take every memory of you and get rid of it.
I would be right in every argument with my wife. We were talking about that. My wife and I watched it together. She said, she goes, you're knocking all my shit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She said, that would suck if you have that, because every time we had an argument, you would always be right. I could say, it was a Tuesday, this is what you were wearing, and this is what you fucking said.
So you'd have instant callback to settle any discrepancy.
I mean, when couples argue, it's usually over, well, you said this, or you said that, or you did this, or you didn't do that. And if one person had the ability to always be right, it'd be awesome.
Sal, if you possessed Mary Lou-like superpowers, how would you use that to your advantage?
Well, I get asked a lot of times, who's the lady that says, "Can I taste your juice?" And I can't remember her name, but if I had Mary Lou Henner's memory, I'd be able to know her name. I might know her name's Ebony or something like that, but I don't have those powers, so I don't know.
If you possessed Mary Lou-like superpowers, how would you use that to your advantage?
Well, let me tell you, I would go back to the times when my buddy shit all over a German Shepherd's cock, and then I jacked off the German Shepherd, and he came in my face, and then I licked my fingers, and it was really fun, and then we went out back, and we shot a raccoon, and Dad cooked it up and sold it to the black folks. Those are some good old days.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about George Takei and how William Shatner had called in that morning, and whether George even thought it was going to be Shatner, and then about their long-running feud and how Shatner just gets underneath George's skin. And then we even talked about why George didn't come down to the wrap-up show. We thought maybe Brad had texted him and told him to, stop talking about sex on the air. So that's what we talked about on the wrap-up show.
Let's talk about William Shatner calling in, and which will in turn lead us into a little bit of discussion about George. Do you think George thought that William Shatner was on the phone?
Not at the beginning. I mean, the whole time, we fooled him twice with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and God knows what else we've done to him. So he really doesn't believe anything we say. So even when Shatner was on, it probably took him, I would say it took him 30 seconds to believe it was Shatner.
And you can't blame George for thinking, okay, this isn't him, but...
No, we've been terrible to him on that front.
But what's the word? The struggle between the two, the sort of, I don't know if it's jealousy, I don't know what it is, but it's clearly there. And you can hear, as we were saying before, both enjoy getting the other one upset. But ultimately, it seems like George ends up being the madder one, and Shatner is sort of laughing about it.
Well, George is easier to get angry about it, and I think that Shatner lives to tweak him. I always think my father used to talk about how his grandfather came from Italy, and there was this other guy that came from Italy, and they hated each other in Italy. And then they came here, and my father said they were in their 90s, and they would have fistfights. And that's what I think of those two. At what point do you get old enough to just say, fuck it? And I think for them, never.
I don't think but there's something so endearing about that. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a fight that some kid that you fought in kindergarten, you're still feuding with them.
Well, the punchline to the story about my great grandfather was that when the other guy died, he was really sad because he had nobody left to fight with.
Well, George talked about hearing. We heard the real Bill, then we heard the real Bill, and then there was the real Bill. And Shatner was like, what are you talking about? And he just loses patience with him. But, Will, that's George's biggest pet peeve. He just can't stand Shatner. I don't think he'll ever forgive him.
And Shatner has this funny move where he just likes to play it like he's above it all,
Right.
and he's really not paying attention to this silly feud that George has kind of made up in his head. And I love that move because that seems to really infuriate George.
And I don't think this feud will ever end, which is great for all of us. But Shatner's, he's got an album and a book. And he's doing a road show in Canada.
Just released that documentary about.
It still does that show Raw Nerve.
Now, why do you guys think he's doing all this? I would assume he's pretty well set financially.
You would think. I mean,
it's funny. I think that the old people that work like this, they always say, "Oh, this is what keeps me alive." And at some point, I think they really start to believe that the more work they do, the longer they'll actually live.
Well, yeah. If you have to be somewhere, then it's better than Some people can't imagine just sitting home and doing nothing, and some people just sit home and do nothing.
But there's a balance, and there's some people that just don't seem to get that. Like Shatner's one of them.
And Regis is another one.
Right.
There's a couple of old guys at work like just way too much.
What did you think of his reaction to the Schwarzenegger story?
His reaction about how Schwarzenegger treated him, or his reaction that we knew about it, how the hell to get out?
Both, actually.
I thought the second one was the funnier part. He's like, how the fuck do you guys know about that? But it's true. Like, we acted like it's news. We found a guy with a blog, and we just hoped it was true.
Everyone has a blog now.
Exactly. And I thought, like, if you read the guy's blog, I thought it was sort of way too snarky and way too, like, okay, Schwarzenegger didn't recognize Shatner, but he's like, oh, it was so embarrassing. You should. And I had a front row seat for the whole thing.
Yeah, I bet it happens to you guys sometimes, like where people come up and say hi to you, and you don't realize even if it's an old friend. You're like, I think it was I thought it was a fan or something.
Especially in my town, like I'll be around my town and people go, hey, Gary, what's up? And I'll just be, hey, how you doing? And then they'll go, you don't know me. And I'll go,
I'm your
okay.
son.
I wasn't sure if you're one of my neighbors that I met at a party or somebody else.
Don't you hate when people call you on that? You don't know. You don't know who I am.
Oh, I got called on that once by somebody really important. It was humiliating.
What do you do?
Nothing. It was somebody that at our last company that worked for. It was somebody's wife, and it was just I'd only met her once or twice, and we were at an event that was completely out of place for her to be at. And she goes, hey, what's up? And I go, how you doing? She goes, you have no fucking idea who I am, do you? And I go, I'm sorry. And I only met them once.
That's funny. Balls, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
I don't know. I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought of Shatner this morning, being somewhat civil with George. Do you think he just wanted to plug his shit, or do you think he was trying to sincerely take a step in the direction to end the feud?
I don't know if he was so civil. I think he was tweaking George wherever he could. I mean, he's making his jokes and doing what he typically does, but I thought he was calling out George a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was a little snarky here and there, but I think he probably could have gotten a lot more out of hand than it did.
Well, but see, the thing is, they don't get out of hand, and that's part of that whole will thing that he was talking about. Shatner won't let it get out of hand because it's not important enough to let it get out of hand.
Right.
I'm way above letting this get out of hand, and that's what makes George crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, thanks, Balls. Let's go to Martin. Martin, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, Shatner is totally passive-aggressive about it. I watched that movie, The Captains, on my Rocky player.
Uh-huh.
And it was first of all, it was all the captains during Star Trek except George. And then during the show, he was talking to Scott Bakula, explaining how a couple of the quote-unquote characters on the show wanted to move up and advance, and it was obviously a reference to George, taking backhands at George constantly.
Was George a captain at one point?
He was
absolutely.
On the series?
He became captain, not on the series.
Through the movies,
he became
yeah.
captain, and then he became commander. That's a big deal.
So theoretically, it's a snub that George wasn't asked to be part of the movie?
And he wasn't even quoted in the movie. Almost every other character was interviewed for little bits and pieces here and there, and George wasn't even referred to.
But who knows if George was declined?
No, but it would be great if I wish I would have known this because I would have had him on the phone this morning, and he would have gone. Shatner would have gone. Oh, was George captain? I was unaware. That's what's great.
Yeah, and that's his MO. But Shatner was also on American Pickers, which was a great episode. You should look it up if you can.
Shatner's also had a bit of a renaissance because we've had him on for a long time. And I remember one time where he would come on and he was like hawking a calling card, like a telephone calling card. And there was one time where he was doing this calling card thing, and everybody could call at once and be on a phone call with Shatner. It just sounded very lame.
He was on
remember paintball?
The paintball. That's what I was going to bring up. He was promoting like what was it? It was a paintball festival or something?
Yeah, it was something. So he's doing much better now.
Wait, there was a party line where you could talk to Shatner also?
Yes. This was back in the mid to late 90s. It wasn't a party line. It was this calling card, but this one night.
And Shatner would be on the phone?
Yeah, with like thousands of people.
That's cool. I like that.
Let's talk about George being around. How does the vibe in the studio change when George is in there?
It's for me, it's just a lighter mood. It's like, it's great to have him. It's great to have somebody that you can go to. He's such a nice guy. He puts everyone puts me in a better mood.
And I know he likes everybody around here, but I didn't know how much he liked some in particular around here. Speaking of you, Will Murray, how did you feel when you heard that? And he didn't admit it, but he didn't deny it. He did say that he's masturbated to people who work on the show.
Well, he didn't even really admit that.
Well, he kind of did. But when Will's name came up, turned bright red, didn't say yes, didn't say no. Are you honored? Are you
in a way
creeped
I
out?
guess. A little of both, I would say. It's a mixture. I was surprised he doesn't masturbate to the most attractive guy on the show.
Well, that was my next question,
You know?
Benji. When Howard was asking, is there anybody else, you didn't come up.
You don't have to masturbate when you're really doing it.
No, did you expect your name to be?
I was hoping. Yeah,
Listen, that's a good question for George, by the way. We should ask him where he
If
ranks.
I'm good looking.
I was a little bummed.
Honestly, I don't know if George would be honest either.
I'm a little bummed that I didn't make it into the mix.
Yeah, gay guys love you.
I'm like, Will's the new young gay icon. I've gotten old. I'm the silver fox.
Like, at least to me, like, there's like chicks here that I find hot.
Right.
At our workplace. But isn't it a big step to pick someone out to actually concentrate on them to masturbate to?
Why is it a big step?
Well, it's just like, I don't know. Like we have online porn. It's just so to actually nowadays pick one person to jerk off to, I think is even a chick you find really hot. I don't know. It's a.
So
big
you're saying
deal.
that when you do it, there's such a big parade, you can't concentrate on one person?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a big honor if you're from start to finish, which I don't know if you were.
Right, and I said to Howard, it would be funny. I want him to really set the fantasy, like what exactly runs through his head,
Will is working late. I come by and say, let me help you with those notes.
That's what I fear.
You sure you want to know that, Will?
I'm curious.
Hey, Gary, have you ever? I mean, you've been here like what's 30 years?
Yeah, 28.
28. So over the years of dealing with like male guests, have you ever been hit on by a celebrity male guest?
No, not a celebrity. I got hit on by a couple of gay guys that were doing the show. One of the guys from Funny Gay Males came on and said that when he was on the road, he jerked off to me, but this was like 20 years ago. But and like I think I've been hit on in the way where it could be sort of brushed off as fun, like, oh, I was just fucking around with you. But if you grab my ass back, I'd be into it.
Right.
But nothing.
Never asked on dates.
No one's ever pushed me into a corner and said, go to the bathroom and I'll blow you.
Now, after George,
male or female.
Now, after George gave me the, you got a great personality line, when Howard asked him about me, he said that he got contacted from Brad and he wasn't going to come on here today. And I thought he was kidding, in the spirit of the show, but he's not here now. And I wonder if that was
What
true.
do you mean you mean Brad emailed him today and said, don't come on the show today?
Ben, you heard.
Yeah, I during the show, I wasn't, it's hard to tell if he's being, joking around or being serious, but he did say, and I think he did look at his phone, if I remember, that Brad was hearing the masturbation conversation.
Because I know that I was dealing with Brad. Brad emailed me on Saturday to say, we're in Ravello. And I was emailing back and forth with him, so he was up for having George come in. You're saying he hit George during the show to tell him to leave?
No.
Not to leave during the show, but like, hey, enough with the masturbation.
Because in the wrap-up preview, I said George is going to be stopping by, and he said, well, I don't know. But I thought he was kidding, but maybe he wasn't.
Who knows, yeah.
All right, we'll try and find out.
Is Brad listening to the show now? Because
Probably.
he never listened before.
No, Brad always listened. That's the whole thing. Brad was the big listener.
No. He listened to the
when
show,
George
but he
was
wouldn't
on.
listen when George was on the show.
That's right.
Well, clearly, I don't know if he is or isn't.
Perhaps it's changed. Ted, let's take a break. We'll try and find out. We'll talk more about George being around or not being around.
Maybe George had to run home and jerk off to Will.
Lucky me.
Let's move back on to what we were talking about before. Shuli, apparently you know why Mr. Takei isn't here?
Yeah, he knew. He said to me in the halls that that he was aware that you guys wanted to pick his brain about this masturbation thing, and that it wasn't going to lead to good things between him and Brad, so he was checking out early.
Listen, it's fine. We could either play the wrap-up show clips tomorrow, or Howard could just ask him himself.
Well, and I asked him numerous times in between laughter. You know, he didn't really admit to anything, but I did give him this scenario. I said, you're on a desert island with Will and Jared. You can only make love to one of them. And he interrupted me and goes, no. Both of them. He says, you don't make the rules on this island.
Hey, on Tuesday's wrap-up show, we started with an innocent conversation about Leslie West and his giant 10-inch thick cock. And then George Takei takes that, runs with it, and all of a sudden is all penis all the time. We're finding out way too much gay stuff. Actually, it was a really interesting conversation. Fun time with George. Check it out.
Leslie West came in with his wife Jenny, and no one has seen Leslie since his accident, and he had his leg removed, which Jenny made the call on, I guess. And how would you describe Leslie? How's he looking, his spirits?
Leslie looked great. He really looked very good. I said, considering you've been through all of this, I thought he looked great. And he's in pretty good spirits. He's the same old guy, I'll tell you that.
What do you think of his attitude in general? I mean, Howard asked him point blank, are you here to send a message, to take care of yourself? He said, no, I'm here to plug my album.
Exactly. That's Leslie. That's how he's always been. That's why it's not a bullshit thing. He hasn't seen God. He's like, that's what happened, and I'm moving on.
Leslie did make a comment. He said, he called Howard, 15 minutes after he came out of his coma, but he didn't hear from you. He didn't hear from Robin.
He made me feel really shitty. I walked into the green room, and I go, Leslie, you look great. He goes, yeah, I didn't fucking hear from you in the hospital.
And Leslie's donated so much to Robin's charity. I know that personally. I know that personally.
For me, it was just weird because I was saying to John, I'm friendly with Leslie, but Howard, I would say, is friends with Leslie. And I think of Leslie as a friend, but I didn't think I was important enough to call him in the hospital. But I guess if you like someone, you should just do it. I felt funny about bothering him. But I guess you're never bothering anyone.
Was he guilting you just to break your balls, or do you think there was some truth behind that?
80% to break my balls, 20% because he was irritated I didn't call him.
And what do you think of Jenny?
She's cute.
What about what she does for him? I mean, in more ways than one. What are we going to say, Jason?
No, I'd chop off my leg to be with Jenny. That would be a fair trade-off. I mean, first of all, she's really tall, and she's hot, and she's got huge boobs, and now she's like his private nurse. And I'm sorry. I mean, listen, I don't want to lose a leg. I don't want to be flippant about that. But if you had to lose a leg, this would be the way to do it.
I saw love personified.
Yes.
I mean, humanity and love. That's incredible what she does and what she looks like.
And now he's at boob level, so every time he looks at her, he just looks up right into. Oh,
I just want to be sure that did she say that sometimes she gets off on the stump?
She rubs herself on his stump. I don't know if she.
I find that very sexy. I don't know why.
Of course, it's sexy.
And she also revealed how well hung Leslie is, which Howard couldn't get past. She said
amazing.
He's over 10 inches. Is that right, George?
That's what she said.
And
10 inches.
But she said she prefers the stump sometimes to the 10 inches. I mean, wow, I guess they're having a lot of fun.
I'm sure it's very thick as well.
George, why are you sure it's thick?
What?
Why are you sure it's thick? It could be skinny. How do you know it's thick?
Well, anything that long has got to be substantial.
Okay.
Well, she did say so.
Well, would you think that it's
no,
skinny?
I thought like Gary, maybe you're judging, like you maybe like listen, like I think I can tell how a chick. Sometimes I think I can tell how her breast will look naked, but like, do you think you can tell a guy's cock, or is it always a surprise?
Not always a surprise. But there are some surprising experiences.
Have you ever had one of those Boogie Nights moments? Like, remember at the beginning of Boogie Nights when
yes.
it goes, and it just like falls out?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one of those like before?
I have.
It's surprising, isn't it?
It's shocking. I mean, it's an enormous hunk of meat that comes pouring out.
Sometimes chicks like say, hey, it's too big. Have you ever felt that way?
No. Bigger the better. If you're sucking,
as long as
I don't want it any other way.
Have you ever tried the other way? I can't remember if you.
Have you
ever tried it? I know you don't do. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Never even tried it.
I have tried it with my penis in someone else's ass.
But you've never even so it's just been zero desire for it in your ass.
Exactly. It's just too tight.
Have you ever, but never even came close just to please your partner or anything like that, or?
Brad's not interested in it. I wanted to try it with Brad, and I did, and I found that I didn't enjoy that either.
How many did you? Was it one time you're like, hey, it's done? Or
One time. He didn't like it, and I didn't like it.
Hey, George, do you ever get uncomfortable when you're with a man who has a bigger dick than you? Because, like, I know if I was in a room with another, like, if, I don't know, like, I'd be like, that would ruin things for me. If I was with a guy and his dick was noticeably bigger than mine, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm not feeling it.
Top then? Is that determine who's like in charge?
The size of the penis?
Yeah.
Frequently, yes. Personally, for me, that's impressive, and you accommodate.
And also, George, you said that you thought Leslie was thick, but when you first meet someone, what are the indicators? Like, how do you know what size is going to be?
I had no idea because he wears a very full kind of caftan type thing, and he's mature, to put it modestly, and so I never thought of him in a sexual way. But when I saw his wife, I thought, oh, my goodness. I mean, and she is attracted to him. He must have something.
Hey, following up on Jason's question, who's larger, you or Brad?
Brad is.
Interesting, but you're the more masculine one in the relationship, right?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting.
Has it always been that way, or was Brad once the more masculine one? Have you changed roles?
No. I was the actor. And he was, excuse me, he was a fan. So there was always that.
Hey, we don't say that
element
around here.
there. What?
He thought you said a different F word.
George,
I'm getting sucked into Benji's vortex. Maybe what George is saying, that Brad is only slightly bigger, and that's why they could have the man. Bigger, but close.
Well, George, I'm happy to see you in here today. We missed you yesterday.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay, understood. But later in the show today, you brought up your musical, which Howard immediately said, "There's no way, he'll fall asleep. He doesn't really want."
There's no way he because I think I know where Howard is coming from in terms of political philosophy and the basic fundamental American ideals, and we deal with that, but we deal with humanity and how it survives, and joy is necessary behind those barbed wire fences. And so, we have some of these scenes where there was dancing and love happens. After dinner, the mess hall would be cleared, and I remember hearing a lot of popular songs of then because our barrack was right across from the mess hall. And when my mother put us to sleep, I heard, Sentimental Journey or Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree wafting over from the mess hall. And so, there's a love story. There is a tragic love story. There are happy love stories, and the whole experience of internment and what it means, and the incredible heroism of the young men and women who went from behind those barbed wires to fight for this country.
Hey, Gary, do you hear anything in that will appeal to Howard going to see this musical?
Nothing.
Heroism.
He likes heroism, but is there a superhero who comes and ends the war?
No, it's not that kind.
Right.
No.
I think for Howard's, first of all, it's a musical, so you're already at strike one because he hates musicals, and then you're trying to bring a battle to the stage when Howard wants to see in a movie, you can see people's heads fall off. So I don't know if he would like that. I think he likes the idea of the battle, but I don't know if he'd like the play.
Are you in it?
I am.
Do you sing at all, George? I know it's a musical.
I sing with the chorus. I don't have a solo. I'm not a musical singer.
If this came up on the air already, stop me. But who's funding this? Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, I put my money in. I have a lot of wealthy friends.
And Howard asked you, how deep are you in? Did he ask you?
He did not ask me.
Do you mind if we ask?
No, $150,000.
Wow, he's got less money in his play than Vinny Favale has in his.
And he's opening on San Diego and in New York next year.
Right. But we have a lot of other people that have invested in it.
When you say opening in New York, do you mean on Broadway?
On Broadway.
Wow.
On Broadway.
So does that mean it's like? Do you know how long it's gonna be on for already? We
hope it's a big hit and it.
But what's the guarantee? Initially, how long do you have the theater for?
We haven't gotten to that point yet, because
it could be on one night, Benji. I mean,
yeah,
are we gonna?
There are plays that have lasted just 3 or 4 nights.
Are we gonna have? Is there gonna be a big opening night? Are we gonna get to walk the red carpet?
Yes, there'll be an opening night with all the hoo-ha that goes with it.
I love hoo-ha.
We're excited for you, George. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Let's talk to Felix in Florida. Felix, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, I just had 2 quick questions for George. I was wondering, as when they talk about, I'm a big fan also. Anyway, when they talk about straight sex in the studio, do you at all get turned on by that, being a gay man? And also, just one quick question before I hang up: do you think that Eugene, loser Ronnie, the limo driver, is attractive at all?
Well, there was a time when I was much younger when I thought I could have been bisexual. And yes, straight sex, if it were sensuous and erotic enough and the setting was right, did get me excited. But as one matures, the heat sort of starts to get less intense. Although it's still there.
Taste starts to get refined.
Was there an incident or something that happened that made you realize, hey, I'm not bisexual, I'm just one way?
Well, men excited me more. It was always that way from the time that I was maybe in junior high school. That's when I started to, even in grammar school, I thought, there were certain boys that were cute.
Mm-hmm. Would it be fair to say at this point in your life the door is closed to you ever having sex with a woman again if you weren't married, or is that door always open? Like if you weren't married, do you think there's a woman you could meet that you'd want to sleep with? Not just once.
I haven't thought about that. Right. I'm committed to Brad.
Right, but I mean if Brad,
well,
we're like the diabetes.
Once you get on a track,
right?
You're on that track, and I'm happy there. I'm comfortable there. And now society seems to be getting much more relaxed. Right. So I know my orientation is definitely toward men.
So now that we're talking about Brad, did you, if you don't mind me asking, did you get any grief yesterday over yesterday's discussion about pleasuring yourself to people on the show? Would you get any grief about that?
I didn't share that with him.
You didn't hear it? Did he hear it?
No,
because you didn't really say anything.
No, I didn't. But he doesn't listen when I'm on, and I did not share what I talked about.
Because what the sort of gossip around the office was that he texted you during the show. Is that didn't happen?
No.
Oh, okay. People thought that he might have texted you during the show, and that might have freaked you out.
By the way, George, I will say that this time you being on, it seems like you're a little more protective than usual. Like with Brad, and you say you're married. Do you have your defenses up, or are you just...
because I've been so totally candid, which I've paid the price for before. I am much more wary now and more careful of what I talk about.
Before the Shatner interview started yesterday, you were convinced that it wasn't going to be Shatner, right?
Yeah, I really was.
How long did it take? I mean, did you know 5 seconds in, or did it take you a minute still?
No, 5 seconds in. I recognize Bill's voice and his speech rhythm and all that. I knew it was the real Bill, the genuine Bill.
The second part of that caller's question that you didn't answer, which was Ronnie. What do you think of Ronnie? Is there any appeal there?
Ronnie's a nice guy. He's very funny and all that, but no, sexually no. If that's what you're kind of trying to probe.
And Benji, were you? Did you get your answer today?
Well, listen.
To what?
I do not think George is like. I think if you were single, I could get him. I do,
George.
I do, and I don't think on my looks. I think I could.
At another time, you might have.
George, ignore the fact that Benji's fat. And what do you think?
He's not fat. He's slimming down.
Yes.
I mean, it's visible and noticeable.
Thank you.
And you have good taste. You selected a shirt that matches your eyes.
Thanks.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, all the conversation was about Jonah Hill dropping by and what a big fan he was. And we talked about Sal and Richard getting excited because Jonah said he was a fan of theirs. And we speculated on how it all went down with Sal trying to get a picture. Well, Sal came in and later explained himself, which made absolutely no sense.
Let's move on to Jonah Hill, who came in today. And Gary, I think it's an understatement to say that Jonah was excited about being on the show.
He was. He was very excited. And Jason and I were having this really interesting conversation because he was up here with Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen for Superbad. And we sort of knew who he was, but I don't think Howard knew who he was. And he wanted to get into the studio to sit down, but it didn't make sense. And so he was just really super excited to be here. Then he came back another time and got like a tour of the place. So big, big fan.
And you could tell he's truly a big fan. I mean, he said he was thrilled that Ronnie was the one who was walking him in when he first got here.
Wanted to hang with Richard and Sal, based a little bit of one of his characters on Benji. He's a big fan.
And are Richard and Sal glowing after hearing how badly Jonah wanted to meet them?
They were right out there when he came out the door.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, they weren't standing right there. They were hanging in the back. And
they just happened to be in his path, maybe?
But it was cool. It was good for TV. I said, hey, Jonah, here's Richard and Sal. Come meet them.
So you didn't have to go find them. They were there.
Yeah. No, I didn't have to find them.
JD, how exactly does that move work with those two?
It's the, they were in their office. Yeah, you think can we get a picture with Jonah? Yeah.
You hear about that?
No, they asked for a picture?
Well, they asked for a picture, and I wasn't around. I probably would have let them do it just because I know Jonah would have been just as excited for it, but I wasn't there, so Jason made an executive decision and said no, which is probably the right move.
Why?
Oh, boy.
Because Jason doesn't want to be the one to get in trouble. In other words, if it came to light that someone took a picture with somebody in the hallway and Howard got pissed, he'd be mad at Richard and Sal, he'd be mad at Jason too. So I understand him saying, you know what, we have a no-picture policy here.
So who did Richard and Sal ask to take the picture if
Jason.
you weren't around?
Jason. No, they asked Jason to physically take the picture, and he said, "Oh, you can't do that."
They didn't ask him for permission. They just asked him to take.
I think it was both.
I understand why they probably asked Jason, because Jason usually is the one that takes pictures for the website.
But I think we should get Jason down because I think they did ask Jason's permission.
Oh, for their own private picture? I think
they wanted their own private. No,
they wanted a picture with him.
No, that's not what they said. Why would you think they said that?
Because that would have been the smart way to do it.
Right.
First of all.
What would have been the smart way?
Well, first of all, because it made some sense. Because
but that's not what
I respect Jason's decision. It's his job to decide. But I'm saying it made some sense. Like, oh, Jonah was talking about them on the show.
I know, but you're turning it into a different thing. Jason, did Richard and Sal ask you for permission to take a picture with Jonah Hill?
Sal did.
And what did he say?
He said, hey, it was when, the interview was over, he's in the hall, and he's like, hey, can we take a picture with Jonah Hill? And I said, why?
Did he ask you because you had the camera, or was he asking your permission?
I guess both. I had the camera, so I would be the one to take a picture with them, and he didn't question my... I don't know if he was asking me for permission.
Well, what did you say?
I said, well, first I asked him why, and he goes, because he said he liked us on the air, and I said, you know what, dude, he's running out right now. I go, you guys didn't end up in the studio with him. If you showed your cocks or whatever, that would have been something, but it wasn't an on-air thing, so I'm going to say no because I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Made the right call.
Now, if Jonah was, thank you. Now, if Jonah was hanging around or something, that would have been different. Like, Jonah said he was a big fan of Benji's. Does that mean Benji should line up for a picture? He said he listened to the intern show. Should Steve be lining up for a picture? Like, where's the end?
No, we have a no-picture policy. I said I might have let it happen if Jonah was just standing there doing nothing.
Jason, you going to pass out, dude?
No,
okay?
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. I just started yawning. I know it looks like I'm out of breath, but I just started like having... maybe that's the same thing. I don't know.
It's a long run from the studio.
Oh, my God.
How did they handle the rejection?
Actually, surprisingly, very well. Because you know what? I think Sal knew it was a long shot. I said no, and Sal said okay. Like it really wasn't.
We said no. We said no to Ace Frehley. Why would we say yes to Jonah Hill?
Yeah. It's just listen. I would have loved a picture with Jonah Hill. I'm a fan, but I can't stand out there taking pictures all day.
Has anybody else tried to pull that move recently?
Literally nobody tries to pull a move like that except those guys.
So, what other times have they done it?
Anytime somebody says that they're a fan of Richard or Sal, I usually get the picture request. And it's, again, they don't bug me. They're not up my ass about it.
Is there a time when they're mentioned where they don't request the picture?
I can't recall one. I'm shocked that Richard wasn't wearing some sort of super bad boxers today. You're my favorite.
So, Sal, you wanted to get a picture based on... I mean, Jonah had some really nice things to say about you guys.
Yeah, it was really nice, and it was really, we were in the hallway, and we didn't want to overstep our boundaries. We were about 6 feet back, waited for Gary's cue.
Wait, hold on. Did you happen to be in the hallway, or did you go out in the hallway?
Jonah Hill said he really liked us, wanted to meet us. It certainly got us excited. We were proud about that. And the show was over. Jonah was in a rush. So we stepped in the hallway, but not into the crew of people. We didn't want to get in the way of Lisa G, in the way of the cameramen. Gary came out and was polite enough to say, guys, come over and meet Jonah.
I knew it was going to be good. The TV cameras out there always looking for stuff, so I thought it would be fun to get a genuine reaction out of Jonah to meet the guys.
So we met Jonah, and I was like on cloud nine. Thank you very, very much, Gary, for doing that for us. And I turn around and I see, Grimace here with the camera. I'm like, Jason, could you take a picture? And Jason, in that whiny, condescending voice, goes, no, that's not the right decision. If you were on the air, maybe, but but because you weren't, you little peasant, get back in the room and do your prank calls. And I said to Jason,
you're painting a picture that never existed.
I'm just what's circling in your mind besides Big Macs was that.
Excuse me, Mr. Oh, can I take a picture with Jonah Hill?
I did say that.
Get over yourself. You're a 20-year-old kid. You're fucking standing out in the hall like a retard.
Thank you. You're proving everything that I'm trying to explain right now. But the thing is that I looked at Jason and I said, you know what, Jason? Thank you. Because Jason didn't make the right call. And I said, I'm on cloud nine right now. Gary let me meet him. And then with my stupid logic is that I'm assuming that I can also take a picture, be in a movie with this guy and everything else. Jason brought me back. No, I'm just saying how my brain spins out of control.
Well,
we all know how that happened.
Now you're in a movie with him?
No, no. It's not that I'm just...
Is that what you think? Like you take the picture, you kind of bond a little bit?
I'm exaggerating.
No, I understand
how elated I am, thinking that just because Gary gave me the green light to meet him, in my head this means that we're going to be hanging out tonight at at a club, drinking.
Maybe what tonight's Survivor's on. You go to his house, have a burger, sleep over.
Well, good point, Gary. Right. So when Jason said, "No, you can't do it. You weren't on the air." Blah blah blah. I said, "Thank you." I actually thanked him. I said, "Thank you." I go, you know what? I have to rely on you because I can't really depend on myself sometimes because my head goes into the wackyville, and I thank Jason.
The other thing is, I didn't see Gary pull them over. If I had seen that, I probably would have walked over and then taken. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I saw that going on and still didn't take the picture.
Were you sincerely?
I just saw a crowded hall.
Were you sincerely thanking him, or were you pissed and you really didn't think he made the right call?
I think he made the right. I was upset that the picture wasn't going to happen, that the picture wasn't going to come into fruition, but I was also happy that Jason made the right call, because believe me, if he would have taken that picture without me asking Gary, even though Gary said, I would have let him take it.
I said I might have. I would have had a seat.
The fact that it went over Gary's head, and I've learned, I have a Post-it note now on my desk, stuck to my computer.
Don't go over Gary's head?
No, it says, ask Gary first with 3 exclamation points.
Gary, this isn't a joke. It is on the bottom of his monitor. It says in capitals and exclamation points, ask Gary first.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Exclamation point. And listen to me, that is my mantra. I live by that because... Speaking of pictures, the one time I really almost got my ass handed to me is I had Howard one time take a picture of me and Ace Frehley when he was on the show.
What do you mean you had Howard?
Howard took it?
Well, what happened was that when Ace was on the air, after the show was over, I was dressed up as Ace Frehley, and then Ace got up and I shook his hand. It was like a real pleasure to meet you, blah, blah, blah. So I had a camera. And I said, Ace, can you take a picture with me? And I turned around and Howard was right there. And I just kind of said, Howard, could you take a picture? I don't know if you remember this, Gary, but you dove right in and you go, I'll take the picture. And you just took the camera immediately. But it wasn't like I think I was only there for 6 months. And in my head, again, I thought I was the guy who can hang out with Howard and watch Survivor and drink beer. So it wasn't a big deal. Now I certainly know it's a big, big, big deal. Huge deal.
Hey, Howard, you want to snap this picture of me and Ace Frehley?
Because I thought me and Howard were pals. And why not? Why not do this for my buddy Sal in my delusional head?
That was way before Howard got into photography, too.
Yeah.
When did you start the Jason Kaplan impression? I don't think I've ever heard that before out of you.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just still, I don't know.
is a Howard TV original production.
On this episode, Richard Christie ties the knot.
I now pronounce you Hustling NY.
And Howard ventures into Times Square. Or does he?
Hey, Howard. How you doing, dude? Fan for many years.
Oh, glad to hear that.
What's your problem? Testing, 1, 2.
Baba Booey.
Yeah.
Hey-oh, yeah.
I met my wife on the last day of the Stern Show at K-Rock. She was mutual friends with Jason and Will and everybody because she had been an intern before I worked for the Stern Show, so we had never met while she was an intern. It was a little while after that we went on our first date. We lived together for a few years as well, so we knew, I knew she was the one for sure. I chose Sal as my best man because he's my best friend and he is somebody that I can trust, as crazy as that may sound to other people.
I was totally blown away because, he has so many great people in his life and he's in touch with so many wonderful people because he has this charismatic personality, and for him to choose me out of everyone that he's been with was really, really touching.
My wife and I chose the venue Sequoia because it's a restaurant that we love. We've been there many times. We love the area of South Street Seaport. We wanted to go somewhere that meant something to us and also somewhere that was very, very New York. On the day of the wedding, everything was ready. There wasn't really a lot to stress over.
Wedding time, folks.
We wanted to have a friend of ours marry us, and our friend was Mr. She.
This is our Reverend right here. Reverend, let's go. Hey. Oh, yeah. Recently ordained on Thursday.
Yeah, I know. One of the maitre d's brought us food and beer, and Richard brought his own beer, which was pretty funny. And we drank beer. We had a good time.
Cheers, Richard, to a great time.
Yes. Wonderful
Congratulations.
Day. You and your wife?
When you say do you, Richard, is
yes,
it the man first?
It's the man first, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
No, why it's the man first? Because for the rest of your life, it's going to be ladies first. So it's the only time. To me, marriage is like having a roommate you can't get rid of. And for Richard to get actually married after everything that I've discussed was kind of bittersweet.
I don't know anybody else who hates marriage more than Sal. And that's who I picked as my best man.
I love marriage. It's my wife I'm not crazy about. If you look at the statistics and you read the papers every day and those murder-suicides and everything else that comes with it, let's just hope for the best.
This is Sal's favorite part of the whole
really
wedding.
looking forward to
doing
this.
my makeup.
Yep.
As a lot of people know, Sal is an expert when it comes to makeup. He wears a lot of makeup, which he doesn't like me to mention to people.
The one thing about Richard is that he has very, very white eyes. And people always say, why does he have white eyes? Like, what, are you teabagging him on the beach? No, he just happens to be that way. I had the idea through somebody else, through a makeup artist, to apply makeup to Richard's face.
Ah, splendid and beautiful. You're gonna look like a superstar. I tell you, I should be a professional makeup artist. RuPaul ain't got shit on me, motherfucker.
Do you need it on the top part of the eye too?
Yeah.
All right, makeup is done. You are ready for pictures, babe.
All right. Time to get dressed.
All righty. Let's make this happen, Rusty.
All right.
So I spent most of the afternoon with Kristen in her hotel room, watching her and all her bridesmaids get ready. We took a short 5-minute limo ride to the wedding venue at South Street Seaport, and that's when the shit hit the fan. We did not know there was a huge electronic music concert going on, and we had to rush Kristen through this crowd, trying to make sure nothing got ruined or damaged, and get her up to the restaurant at South Street Seaport. I dropped her off in her dressing room and then went to check out the real action, Richard and Sal getting ready.
Hey, look at there, Mr. Pumpkin.
Hey, this is for you, my friend.
Are you jealous, Mike?
No.
He's putting the flower
You
on
guys
it.
look awesome.
Mike's gonna get deflowered later.
I told the girls they look so amazing. I
He
want
was
to turn
deflowered
straight.
long ago.
Oh my God, I'm giving away my wife. I'm gonna cry. All right, button it up.
Yeah, 6 years while you fix it.
6 o'clock came, and I'm just shaking in my boots, and I'm trying not to show it. And I walk into the front of the room, and I'm standing there. And now there's a whole group of, 150 people just staring back at me, and I'm just lost.
We really weren't prepared. The guy who was helping us out, getting us the beer and the food and whatnot in the back, was the same guy that said, okay, you grab her, you grab her, you grab him, you go like this, you go like that. It was like a retarded chicken dance to wedding music. We really weren't exactly sure what to do, but it all came together in the end.
It was really cool to walk into the room where the ceremony was and to have people cheering, and it was cool. It was fun. It was like almost like a comedy show when you walk out on stage and people clap for you and stuff. And so it made me very comfortable, and it was really cool. And right when that happened, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun and it's going to be loose. And that really calmed me down a lot. When the doors opened at the back of the room where the ceremony was held and I saw my wife, I was just blown away. She looked so beautiful, and I wanted to take it all in and just remember that moment, and I really didn't think about anything else and just looked at her and realized how lucky of a guy I am. And for anybody out there that's married, I'm sure they know, that moment when you first see your wife, it's incredible.
I finally realized, holy cow, I'm up. So I reach for my notes, and I'm like, dearly beloved.
We're gathered here today to witness the exchanging of marriage vows of Kristen and Richard.
I started to talk about Richard. I mentioned something about him and how we met, and I threw a joke in there. I don't even remember what it is, and thankfully I got a couple chuckles.
And I always knew him simply as Richard, not as Richard from the show. He's always well-mannered, polite, and respectful, so he's not from around here in New York.
This man could perform at Carnegie Hall. That's how good he is. It was different, it was unorthodox, it was hilarious, it was everything a wedding should be.
Okay, now, will the best man present me with the rings?
These are crystals. Thanks. This is too. You're shaking. I know, I'm shaking. I'm sorry.
We didn't really know exactly what was going to happen with the ceremony, so I got a little anxious.
Do you, Richard, solemnly declare that you take Kristen to be your lawfully wedded spouse?
I do.
Well, I'm not done yet. Honor. He's excited. I'm excited. You promise to love, honor, cherish, and keep her for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
All right.
That was part of the fun of it. We were just going to do it on the fly, see how it goes, and just have fun with it. My vows, I wanted them to be very serious and heartfelt and just to show how I felt for my wife, but I also wanted them to be funny.
As Stryper sang in the song Calling on You, you made my life complete.
In the end, all went well, so very thankful.
By the powers very recently vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
After Mr. She pronounced us husband and wife, it didn't even feel real. It was so crazy, and it felt amazing, but it's like you're floating on air, and to hear all the people clapping and cheering and the music, it was just surreal. But also, I made sure I took it all in. I was like, wow, this is really amazing.
There's lots of guys that have wanted to come on the show as Howard lookalikes.
So this guy I was talking to you about, like I said, his whole letter to me is not like he's not trying to be you. This is his rep. his rap is, he looks like you, and all these people approach him, and he's like, I tell them I'm not Howard. So, like, I thought the more interesting thing was...
It sounds like he's getting approached by better people than I get approached.
Well, he says, and I'd be curious, maybe, I tell me if it's worth a pre-interview. He said Bryant Gumbel came to talk to him at Balducci's. Tony Bennett talked to him at the Admirals Club, and Chuck Scarborough on opening night of the Met Opera. He goes, at least once a week I get a stranger begging for a photo. I tell them I'm not Howard, but they don't care. Their brother, mother, sister, husband is a huge fan and will get a kick out of it. Half the time when I deny being you, people refuse to believe me. They're thinking, what an asshole. You know, so I didn't know if you thought there was anything worth even pre-interviewing him to see if any of that stuff is...
Clip B, see how he sounds on, and see if he doesn't get back to me on him. Maybe it'll be fun.
I think Howard passed on him the first time, and then he gave us a couple of interesting stories about, you know, fooling Tony Bennett and Bryant Gumbel and a few more people, and we were like, you got to have him up. And then when Howard saw the pictures, like, yeah, let's have him in.
Here's this guy who looks like me. His name's Ron Broer.
Oh, my God.
I guess he kind of does.
When Ron first walked into the studio, I recognized that the curly hair and his height and the fact that he was wearing glasses might lead people to believe that that's Howard if you just glanced quickly.
Well, I thought it was depressing that Ron really does look like me, because Ron is not, you know, in my mind, the best-looking guy, but that's what I look like.
My first reaction was, yeah, he looks a little like me. I can see why people would think that.
The shorts are what is really getting me. Nothing. The hair, no. The curls are too tight. The sunglasses aren't his sunglasses. The nose is not the same. The boots, maybe Howard would wear boots like that, but the cutoff shorts are really killing me. And this guy looks short. Is he short?
Tony said to me, the hairdresser, she goes, hey, Howard, my friend saw you walking around on 19th Street the other day in shorts. And it's this fucking guy. I don't know, you annoy the shit out of me.
The whole thing's a nightmare because he's met people that I know, like Brian Gumbel, and then he goes, I don't know you, and Brian feels like I snubbed him. It's a bit of a nightmare.
I really don't like this. This is creeping me out.
For anyone to think that this man looks like my husband or believe that this man could actually be my husband is just the most disturbing thing ever for me to even wrap my head around.
So after I was on the show, I was asked to go out on the street with a camera crew and just walk around the Times Square area and see what happened.
When you put someone that looks kind of that closely like Howard with a camera walking in Times Square, I was amazed by how many people stopped him, screamed from tour buses, ran across the street. And it was one of those moments where you just are kind of blown away by the fact that someone can cause kind of such hysteria by doing absolutely nothing.
Thank you. Mostly I say, I'm not Howard, but if you want to take a picture, sure. If I'm in a real big hurry, I'd just be like, sure, yeah, okay. Good. It's just quicker, easier.
Can I get a picture with you?
Sure.
Howard Stern.
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
What's
Nice
going
to meet you.
You too.
Hey, Howard.
How you doing, dude?
Fan for many years.
Oh, glad to hear that.
What's up, Howard Stern? What's good, baby? Chilling? Give some love, brother. Give some love, man. What's good? What's your What's
We'll take a picture?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You go.
Whose phone is ringing? Your phone? Hey, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Great.
There you go.
How's Beth?
She's good.
She looks great with all the pictures I see in the Hamptons.
He's home?
The dinners you posted.
Yeah, with the dogs.
Yeah.
The animal shelter thing, yeah. Thanks. Some people who want to take my picture, I just smiled, let them take the picture, you know, arms around each other. Some people, after they took the picture, I told them, I'm not Howard. I'm not Howard Stern.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Are you playing with me?
No, I'm really not. I'm really not Howard Stern.
Nice.
What? No, I know I look a lot like him, but I'm not.
I was like,
I gotta tell you something. Yes, sir. I'm a big fan. I'm not Howard Stern.
You're not?
No.
Oh, man.
You still want a picture?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't care if you are. You look just like him.
If you're in New York and you're from out of town and this is your one opportunity to see a star, you're going to want to believe. And I'm sure that happens all the time.
It's New York, and you see a lot of celebrities sometimes, and they do walk alone. But Howard, he's almost to a different standard. I don't think he can go anywhere without being noticed. So yeah, it's probably a little ridiculous that he'd be walking around Times Square by himself.
One of the most important things that my wife and I had talked to the venue about was that we wanted everybody to have fun and to always have a drink in their hand. Because to me, drinking equals fun. It was amazing that George and Brad were able to make it. I mean, they're very close friends of Kristen and I, and it was really an honor that they were able to work their schedule around so that they were able to come to our wedding. I really wish that Howard, Robin, and Fred and Gary would have been able to make it, but I totally understand that they couldn't.
We love Richard and we love Christy. And that weekend, unfortunately, we could not attend the wedding.
I think Richard knows that I, love him at work, but not being at the wedding comes off as very cold and callous to our audience. The audience is very critical of my actions, like they've never done anything wrong. But no, I wasn't there.
I just imagined that, they were going to have a good time anyway, and they didn't really seem to care whether I was there or not. So I'm not sorry. I missed it.
I am very bummed that I couldn't make it to Richard's wedding, and I explained to him why, and he understood, but I really wanted to be there, and I'm sorry I couldn't be.
The one thing I liked best about this wedding was hanging out with Richard's dad. He is so much fun.
Now, what's been going on? You ain't been getting shot or nothing? No, same old manure in the sewer, Mr. Christie. It's the same old. Yeah, but you ain't getting naked lately or getting shot? Do you look forward to that stuff? I can get naked for you now, sir. No. I'll be happy to teabag you. You're a cute looking fella.
The only thing greater to me than Richard Christie is a Richard Christie with a pussy. And that is, thus, Richard Christie's sister. And she is really sweet, she's real hot, she's a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun.
When Richard kissed my taint, I was actually thinking of her. This is my inspiration.
We were almost a match made in heaven. Mrs. Christie, Richard's mom, was hanging out with us, and I love her dearly. And I just wanted to express to her how amazing her son is. And he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And what better way to compliment a mother for their incredibly talented, awesome son by saying,
the wonderful Mrs. Christie, the lady with the golden vagina who made the man who changed America with his brilliance, right?
If you say so.
Yes.
There's geese that lay golden eggs. There's women that have golden twats. Golden twats make great guys, like Richard Christie.
Before we joined the reception, we did a lot of photos in between the ceremony and the reception. I didn't want to take too long because we wanted to get out there and just start partying with everybody and having fun. We hung out with our family, got all the pictures done, and had a few drinks, and then it was time to head out to the reception. Our first dance was to the song, Can I Have This Dance for the Rest of My Life. Unfortunately, because of copyright laws, I doubt that they'll be able to include that as part of this episode.
They brought the couples up to dance, and, I was solo, and High Pitch Mike was solo.
JD just pulls me and grabs me. And I thought, oh, wow, he finally is going to act on his emotions that he wants me. There was a bulge in his pants that I felt. When he was hip to hip with me, I felt something.
Usually JD doesn't really acknowledge the camera at all, but after a few drinks, he decided to dirty dance with me a couple of times.
I wanted him to feel part of it. He's a new guy around here, so I showed him a little what I'm capable of in the dance department.
So as the best man, I had to put together the best man speech, which to me was pretty simple to put together because it was straightforward and it was completely from the heart.
Richard, I am truly honored to be your best man. And for the rest of my days, you will be my best man forever. I love you. He's not going to lick my taint tonight, so slow down, everybody. It takes a great woman to marry a man who once pooped in a coffee can and then baked it for fun. And it takes a great woman to marry a man who fantasizes about being chloroformed and depantsed by his fucking boss. You know, as I think about this, Kristen, you are not a great woman. You are a beautiful saint. You, like I, recognize that he is a brilliant, wonderful, loving human being with a heart bigger than Jason Kaplan's ass. To a life of nothing less than health, happiness, heavy metal, and haunted houses.
I thought Sal's speech was very good. It's funny. I was laughing. I love the Jason Kaplan line. And I give it an A+.
My idea was to get a big staff picture. And I told Richard, and he was into the idea, so we made the announcement, got everyone together just for a photo, but it quickly turned into a sort of out-of-control mosh pit.
I know what a mosh pit is, where people get thrown around. I ain't seen anybody getting thrown around except like some drunken people on the dance floor dancing drunk. That was about it.
I think I might have thrown Ronnie around a little bit too hard, which is why he doesn't remember.
I love Ronnie, and especially when he's drinking, he's the coolest guy ever. And to watch him cut the rug and start dancing all over the place, that's the Ronnie I like.
Cutting the cake was fun, although by that time we had had a few drinks and my memory's a little spotty by then.
Have a nice hand for Mr. and Mrs. Kristen and his cut their wedding cake.
I think we got some on our face, but I remember it was a delicious cake, and we actually also had red velvet cupcakes for dessert. They were just incredible. The bouquet toss was a very planned out affair, and it was something that Kristen and I knew exactly who was going to get the bouquet.
3, 2, 1, go!
Gay marriage is now legal in New York, thankfully, and she really wanted him to catch the bouquet.
You can say that she threw it right towards me, but I think I just happened to be the lucky one who's about to get married next.
After the last song, it was hard to believe that it was the end of the wedding and it was over. And a lot of people said to me, you know, always be looking around and taking everything in and enjoying the moment because it goes by so fast. And it did go by fast, but I made sure that I enjoyed every second of it, and I made sure that my wife enjoyed every second of it, and hopefully all our friends and families enjoyed every second of it. And we really made the most out of the evening, and there was really no downtime. Everybody was always partying and drinking and having fun, and that was what was important. And the most important thing was at the end of the night that my wife had the perfect wedding, and she was so happy, and that makes me so happy.
As we're walking through Times Square, we get to GMA, Good Morning America. And I'm standing with him, and I say, just stand off to the side of Good Morning America, and let's just see if anybody bites.
This stage manager from the show came over and asked me if I would be in the shot by this food truck.
Are you going to walk into our shot?
You want me to? Wow. It's going kind of far.
And go in. Go in.
Next thing, they want to put me on the air. Would I be okay going on the show? Sure. So then I'm standing there in that area, the restricted area, and George Stephanopoulos comes out.
Check. How you doing, man? How are you? Good to see you. Wow.
Hey! Everybody here, back here, guys.
He pretty soon realizes that I'm not Howard. And he says, almost.
He knows.
George calls the producer over. He tells him it's not Howard. The guy takes the mic, asks him, says thanks, and sees him on his way. And he never actually got on with George. George sniffed him out.
What Howard told me, he's met George a bunch of times and maybe even had him to the house. And it would always be insulting if George thought that was Howard when he's met Howard.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't wander around trying to get on Good Morning America. So, as you can see, this is causing me great pain.
Howard would never wander alone around in Times Square, and yeah, sorry, not Howard.
I suppose if somebody looked a lot like Howard Stern and really wanted to max out on it, you could do that and do really bad stuff.
Get into events, probably get reservations at restaurants, anything like that. If you got the balls to go for it, why not?
He could go into places, demand things just because he's famous, leave no tip, be obnoxious, treat people poorly. And believe me, that would be reported in the press.
If you wanted to be really funny, you fuck some girls and say you're Howard. And then Howard wants to do more than just better. He better be good at it.
Fucking Beth would be the greatest thing in the world. Like, if you were a Howard lookalike. Or if you could trick people for a second. Like, yeah.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hyde and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate. On Tuesday's wrap-up show, we talked about how Robin had made a huge announcement that she went to a seminar over the weekend and she wasn't going to emasculate men anymore. We talked about it for a while on the wrap-up show before Robin got there, and then Robin walked in and she joined us. Here's what happened.
I think we should start with Robin Quivers and her pledge to no longer emasculate anyone. Where did that come from, Gary? And will she stick to it?
I don't know where to start, but Robin's always evolving. She goes to a lot of these. I don't know what you want to call them.
Seminars.
Seminar is a good word, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to complain even a little bit, because the last time Robin came in and made a declaration like this was when, got to be 15 years ago, when she called me to tell me she loved me because she went to some place and actually whatever that thing was that she went to, she really did sort of shift her life around and change. So if this means she's not going to break my balls anymore, why would I be against it?
I don't think you should be against it, but people are wondering, one, the validity of it and how long she's going to stick with it. But
well, what's the validity of anything when you think about it? She went to some place where they talked about something. If she buys into it, that's the validity of it.
Right, provided that she sticks with it. And JD came in right after, and she did not knock JD at all. And there was plenty of opportunity to emasculate him during that conversation.
I almost wish today was the day I threw my first pitch. Rob would have been, oh, Gary.
Well, let's talk about Robin for a second, and when this has happened before. This isn't like you just said 15 years ago, but she definitely goes to things, gets motivated, and changes. And
she's into the self-improvement thing big time. She likes to go to places and see how she can make herself better. I know for a lot of people like you're very skeptical, John. I can see by looking at you. It's not your cup of tea, as Mark Wahlberg would say, but it has worked for her in the past, so I'm like, that's what she wants to do. That's good. Certainly not harming anybody.
No, and I admire her for doing it, but I find it strange to, how was your weekend? Okay, Benji shaved, Fred got a dog, and then Robin declares that she makes a pledge to no longer emasculate anyone, and then asks for everyone's help on the show to help her out with this.
I thought it was great, too, because in light of what she had to say, which we didn't know what it is, Howard's like, okay, what did we do wrong?
Yeah, immediately somebody did something wrong, but... So she makes this declaration, and Howard talks to her about it a little bit. Throughout the rest of the show, she doesn't really emasculate anybody, but I wonder if it's a struggle for her to do it. You know what I mean? Is she thinking, okay, I want to say this, but I can't say it now?
I would think it's a struggle.
Did that come out of left field to you, and do you think Robin can stick with it?
Well, and I wasn't like shocked. I mean, Robin's often like saying, "Hey, I'm trying something out that I think is, will improve my life, improve who I am." I really am curious what it means to her. Like, what is emasculating? What's not? When is it okay to? Is it okay to critique someone? Critique things? Like, what is sort of her boundaries of emasculating?
Yeah, if she's going to stop being negative, we're in trouble.
Do you think that there was a need for an apology? Because she said she had to apologize. There was one thing in particular with Howard she wanted to apologize for, or is that sort of water under the bridge? That's the way the show goes, and no one takes it really to heart.
No, again, when she called me to tell me she loved me 15 years ago, that was part of the process. Like, you go to these things, you have some self-realization, and then you say, okay, I want to go back. I guess it's almost like the letter you write from AA, where you apologize to all the people you hurt. That's part of it, I guess.
What to you, like, what is emasculating? What does she mean by that? Is it making someone seem like less of a man?
I wasn't sure.
That's the definition, is it not? I mean, taking away, sort of chipping away at your manhood.
That's what I would think, but I wonder, like, in everyday, like at one point, like she goes, like when she made it. I think she made a joke about Howard on the sinking ship that he wouldn't try to save anybody. That's emasculating.
I can't answer. I don't know what Robin's definition of the word. What do you think it is?
I think she means like taking away from their manhood, but I wonder if she's going to sort of enlarge it to any kind of critique. And also, does it go towards women too?
Well, I don't think it does.
No, she was apologizing to the men.
Right. Like, would Chaz Bono qualify?
That's a good question.
But Benji brings up a point. Is there a difference between critiquing, busting balls, and emasculation?
Robin's going to have to draw that line. If she doesn't critique anybody in anything, like you said, Gary, we've got a problem here. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Dun, dun, dun. Breaking news from Jason.
And shockingly, it's Jason reporting it.
This is the coolest thing because so few people say nice things about me around here. But Robin stopped me in the hall, no Howard TV cameras or anything, and said that she wanted to apologize for any past time she might have emasculated me, and that she wanted to tell me how much she appreciated me and my hard work when we did the charity together. And then Sal came over, and she started giving Sal the same rap and started apologizing to Sal, and she said, "I'm sorry, Sal, you were right. I was wrong about everything."
What?
And that's like both mine and Sal's head like exploded. Even Sal was like, "No, Robin, you were probably right." And she goes, No, I apologize. So she is on the apology tour.
I got to say,
and I like it.
I've been here the longest, and I've taken the most shit. I expect a big apology.
You're waiting for a closed door, 15 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Jace, do me a favor.
Tears.
After you or Steve, let's get Sal in here because I'm very curious to hear Sal's take on all this. Now, does it seem sincere to you, or she's just kind of checking it off the list?
It seems sincere in the sense that this is something she wants to do. It's something that she obviously... I say obviously. She seems to feel bad about how she's treated people and is trying to make amends. I don't know about this whole emasculation thing or who Alison Armstrong is, but she seems to want to make good with people.
I can tell you that when I got the I love you phone call from Robin and she said she was going to change her ways, I was happy. This is like 15 years ago. I was happy but skeptical. But that really was a turning point for her. She did start acting different, and she's been... There was before that period of time when she went to see that group and after, and she's definitely been different and better after.
Okay, look, it's one thing to apologize to Jason, what we're talking about, but to tell Sal that she was always wrong, I mean,
by the way,
all right, Robin sold the show. It's called Punk 2.
Robin, and I told this, I'm like, Robin doesn't owe me an apology, or as far as I'm concerned, anybody, but since I could just speak for myself, like, she doesn't owe me an apology for anything as far as I'm concerned.
Steve Brandano has an update.
So I went back into the office. I turned the corner. They're both in the hallway right there, and all I hear is Sal going, "I never felt emasculated by you. You can make fun of me," and they're still just in it. And I just turned around and came back. I'll go back there in a little bit, but Sal's definitely into the whole thing right now.
Sal, by the way, Jason took it for what it was worth.
Forget it was Sal.
Sal's just sucking it up like a sponge.
Yeah, and he's doing that voice that he does. Like his
I got it.
talk voice.
The voice where he goes, "Oh, thank you, sweetie." Yeah. That's so nice, darling. Oh, aren't you sweet?
No, he said, no, Robin, there's no need to apologize. I'm sure.
No.
Oh, we should get both of them down here, Steve, if we can. Sal just walked in, and I want to hear what...
Hello, yoo-hoo.
Did you stop Robin in the hallway? Were you stopped? What happened, and what did she say?
Who was she speaking to?
She was talking to me.
She was speaking to Jason. I was walking down to the bathroom, and she goes, "And you, I have to apologize to you profusely." I'm like, "Me? What do you have to apologize to me for?" And she was just like, "I'm just so sorry for emasculating you for so many." I go, "Please, if anybody should be apologizing, it's me to her." And I told her, she's not emasculating anybody. She's entertaining. She's great at it. And, you know, no matter how much icing you put on a piece of shit, it's still a piece of shit. Robin is just the opposite of the spectrum. She has a positive vibe about her. And at the end of the day, people know that she's a good person.
How would you define emasculating? Like, what do you think she's...
I'm making somebody feel inferior or weak or less effective.
And has she made you feel that way?
No, Howard has, but she hasn't. You know?
I don't understand that. How can Howard have done that, but she didn't?
Well, because I respect Howard so much, and when he says something, it hurts. Like today, he goes, Robin, when he was talking about kidneys, he goes, how many dopes we have working here with low IQs? They don't deserve a kidney. And I'm like, I'm the one with the lowest IQ here. So that I take it as a personal jab.
Are you the one with the lowest IQ in the office?
I think I was the one. Yeah, it was me, then JD, then Ralph, then Richard.
Yes.
So I was at a normal IQ, but I was the lowest in the office.
So, but Sal led by a mile.
King of the dipshits.
Again, even Howard doing that, you know, it's always entertaining. I remember when I first started working here, a lot of bad email came in. I go, Gary, I can't deal with this email. And Gary pulled me aside and goes, hey, did you like it when you read bad email about me when you were a listener? I go, I loved it. He goes, case closed, get out of my office. And it's the truth. I'll never forget that conversation. And every time I feel bad about Howard ribbing me or emasculating me, I realize that it's extremely entertaining and it's honest. So be it. We all do it. But Robin is not an emasculator. She's an entertainer.
Well, what do you think about Howard and Fred and Gary like accepting her apology? Did you think that was all sincere?
I think they're really getting a kick out of all this, especially Gary. I mean, Gary's just on cloud nine with this one. You know, it's just.
I'm really not.
I thought you were. I thought you find it's really it's funny in a way from the outside.
Actually, I got to tell you, I was trying to goof on it a little bit during the break, and Gary's like, I don't see what angle you're going for here. Like, it wasn't like he was running around defending Robin, but he certainly wasn't going around saying this is stupid and this is idiotic.
It certainly isn't. It's not. It's really a sincere, nice gesture.
For me, like I look at this, Robin's always trying stuff, right?
Right.
This, whether you agree with it or not, has a point. It's a positive thing that she's trying to do. Like I have much more of an issue with ayahuasca. I don't know what the fuck that does for you.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what that does for you. I
high.
don't think shitting and vomiting is going to make you see God. Like this, she went to a place, they discussed a particular topic, and she's now going to try not to do things.
Sal, did you think her apology to you was sincere, or do you think she's just kind of like checking it off her list and she went to the seminar and this is kind of what you have to do?
I think she's just trying to better herself. You know, and that's a step in the right direction. I think we all try to better ourselves in some capacity. And I think she was sincere, but the problem, what scares me is that she doesn't need to apologize to anybody. We know that she's a really good person.
Well, wait a second. Just because she doesn't need to apologize to you, how do you know she doesn't need to apologize to anyone else?
Well, perhaps she does if there's something personal, but she certainly should not apologize for what, in my opinion, for what she said on the air about everybody. Look at the roast. Look how horrible they were. I've said some terrible things about her in those roasts. And you know what? She took it in stride because she understands how the show works.
So my last question is, how come when Howard does it, it is emasculating, and when Robert does it, she's doing comedy?
No, it is emasculating. Robin does emasculate, and Howard emasculates, but they're both entertainers. I find what Robin does is entertaining the same way when Howard emasculates, it's entertaining as well. So that's how I look at it.
Robin,
I think at the end of the day, it's just entertaining.
Robin, I'm glad you're here because we're getting different reaction to your apologizing for emasculating, but the question is, like, what do you define as emasculating? Because on this show, it happens all the time.
Right, and after I learned what emasculating was, I said, "Oh, that's my job. That's what I do."
Well, that's the question. What is, by the definition, what you apologize for this morning? What is emasculating?
It's anything that makes a man feel diminished.
You got a lot of shit there. You got a lot of shit you can't talk about.
So at what point did you have this realization that, oh my God, this is what I've done for a living for God knows how many years, and how am I going to make up for it?
When people were describing what emasculation was, you know, what it looks like, and I thought about what you guys say to me constantly, I realized that that's what I do.
Is it especially go towards men, or is it in general to anyone, a woman or a man?
Well, you can't emasculate a woman.
Have you defeminized a woman?
You can, yeah, Chaz Bono.
so when, like, there was a point today where I think it was during the news, you were talking about the ship sinking, and Howard made some joke about like not rescuing people, and you started to say something. Wait, I'm emasculating you. Can you describe what you meant?
Right,
by that?
he was making a joke about himself, but when I pile on and say, "Yeah, you're not brave,"
That's not a joke.
What is it?
It's emasculation.
Robin, can I ask you something?
So if it was purely as a joke, it wouldn't be you wouldn't feel you're violating what you're trying to do.
If it was something funny and it wasn't, because I mean, a lot of emasculation is posed as humor.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. So JD's in there right after you make this big revelation.
Yes.
There was plenty of opportunity for you, and you have in the past commented on JD's situation. Were you telling yourself, okay, I got to hold back here and not comment on this, or comment in a were you sort of...
I was looking for different ways to comment.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do anything. He was already uncomfortable. He was already feeling embarrassed. There were a number of things going on for JD that I didn't have to make worse.
Oh, what's the fun in that?
Well, you joke at that, Jason, but isn't a lot of the core of this show doing just that?
And it was being done.
So you felt you didn't need to jump on.
Right.
Okay.
If I don't have anything really revelatory to say or to enhance that, why do I need to continue, just be more of a piler honor?
And Gary, will this make things awkward now in the studio and change the dynamic, or is it just, smooth sailing ahead?
Luckily for Robin, there's 17 people who can pick up where she left off. I can come in, Will can come in, Jason can come in, Fred's still around, Benji can do his thing.
Do you still feel you can critique somebody and not diminish their manhood?
Well, Dave Navarro felt critiqued.
He felt critiqued before he said anything. Because apparently in the past you critiqued him.
Past Robin was on his mind.
But if somebody pisses you off and you go, you know what, man, you fucking pissed me off. You're an asshole. Is that emasculating, or is that just you being mad?
I'm questioning myself about all of these things at this point. And one of the things I know is that if I have something to say to you, to contribute to you, I could do that off the air much more effectively than on the air.
Robin, in the past you've said that, on the show as a matter of fact, you said that you're a character. There's the character Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is the emasculating Robin a character, or are you coming to the conclusion that it's just really you and there is no character?
Well, there's certainly a character that I don't feel the way I act every day. I may come in here some days and not feel like, I might feel like crap, but I still become Robin and do the show.
Well, can you continue to be the emasculating character?
That is not what I want to be.
And why don't you want? Why is it bad to emasculate someone?
Because it diminishes their capacity to perform and produce.
What if you have no dignity left anyway? Like me.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Men do it to themselves all the time. I don't have to be a part of that.
Men do it to other men all the time.
Yeah.
That's called breaking balls.
How else are you
Right,
supposed
but
to...
it is breaking balls. But when your wife does it,
Oh, yeah.
it makes a whole difference, doesn't it?
Well, we've got the king of emasculation over here, Sal. I mean, you've had to deal with it at home. You've talked about that, how you felt it. But when Robin came to apologize to you, he just said, why is she? He doesn't feel there's a need for an apology.
Absolutely not. No.
Now, are you making yourself feel better by apologizing?
I know that, right now we're all calm and nothing's going on. And I know that Sal has been very upset with me when he's in the midst of being berated by Howard.
I personally
when
think,
he hears my voice.
I personally think, yeah, I'm when Howard yells at me, I get so worked up.
Right.
But there are times where I want to attack Howard, and you know what? I think I intentionally take a cheaper shot at you. I vent on you, which is not fair to you.
It's also because I've chimed in.
Yeah, it is.
I've brought attention to myself at that moment, and you look at it as, I don't need another shot fired.
Gary, you've commented
Bring in this
all the
Armstrong
time.
lady. I got to talk to her.
You've commented all the time how Howard's sticking it to you, but then what really gets you is when Robin...
The shiv, as Ronnie says all the time, I get the shiv in the back.
And maybe it is the woman thing. Maybe that's why it feels different. I don't know.
It is. That's what I was just saying to Sal. I know this is going to sound insanely sexist, so whatever. But, when you're on the air or anywhere arguing, you just don't want to hear from a chick. Like, it really is just like a chick thing. It's like, yo, shut up. You're not in this. Like, get the I don't know.
But it's not
it
a
hurts
sexist
more.
thing.
There's different way men argue with men.
You don't want to lose face or lose respect in the eyes of a woman.
Right.
So when he's already being publicly berated.
Right, by his boss.
Right.
Right.
Does he now need to realize this is in front of a woman?
So during moments like that, will you be knitting and bringing drinks over?
I'll be trying to support as gently as I can.
What's that woman's name again that you went to?
Alison Armstrong.
And when is she coming back? No, I think maybe we get a bus and they go pick up all our wives and take them.
Well, Gary did say that after hearing all this, that he's expecting a nice long chat with you.
Apologies.
I was kidding, by the way.
But
I really
would
not.
love to have a chat with you.
But it's not. It's not necessary.
Clear out your Saturday, Robin.
You know, in the 70s,
we had our chat and it worked. That's what I was telling. I was telling all the guys that when we had that thing that
and
happened,
that was one of those times, yeah.
Everybody was sort of like, "Oh, Robert's trying something new," and I'm like, "Listen, I can tell you from experience. When you went through that, that is a very definitive line for me. You did change. You changed your life after that. So if you're going to try something, what's the big deal? Try something."
Yeah, and remember, we had a very awkward relationship.
Absolutely. Before that.
Yeah, and it was awful when I realized that I kept you at that, and I didn't even mean to. You know, we had our problems in the past. We had resolved them as far as I was concerned, but I'd never really spoken to you about my change of heart.
Right.
And so I thought after this woman said to me, I hope everybody loves working in your environment. And it always sounds like you guys have fun together. And I was like, you were the first person I thought of. I was like, I don't think Gary has fun with me.
In the beginning of
We're
the
having
show,
a lot more fun now. I really agree.
In the beginning of the show today, you made a point to say, I have something that I want. I mean, you made a big deal out of this announcement.
Yeah.
I'm sure you gave it some thought over the weekend. How did you think Howard and Fred were going to take it when you came out and said what you said?
Just as they did. I thought, first he's going to say, what is this announcement? Which is what he did. And then after I started to say what I was going to say, I knew he'd say, stop it. Wait a minute. What are you saying? Because it is a big deal.
Yeah. And you asked for help. Can you explain? Because people are confused what you mean by that.
I mean, tell me when I'm doing it.
Done.
Thank you.
Done. I'm on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, if I start to lose it and go into automatic and start bashing you uncontrollably about the head and face, I want to know.
John, I'm curious. There's a call that I'm interested in because I see it's up here. Line 7, he said that whoever's on the phone thinks that what you're doing right now is emasculating. I'm dying to know why they think that.
I'm willing to hear.
Go ahead, Mags.
I forgive you, by the way, Robin.
Robin, I love you. Gary, John, you're great. But Robin, I mean, just you doing us men the favor of not emasculating us anymore and letting us know that is emasculating in itself.
I understand what you're saying.
I sort of get what he's saying.
I understand what you're saying.
We all know Sal's in there for the airtime, but other than that, you should just keep it to yourself and continue to just emasculate us because that's what we love about you.
Well, thank you. And, you know, I have been told that one of the things to do is just apologize and be done with it because you guys can take care of yourselves.
Yeah, and actually, Benji, I wish you could be a man enough to be emasculated anymore, but I'm not sure what's going on with you.
All right, thanks, Mags. Brian in Jersey, you're on the wrap-up show.
Love the show. This is all very high-minded, but it still operates from a very distinct position of authority, Robin. You presuppose that you have the ability to control how someone feels about what you say. I think Benji made a very pointed question when he asked you, if you berate someone and it happens to be a woman, is it the same thing? I think that it has a very sexist undertones and overtones, and quite frankly, it's patently absurd to think that you can change how someone else thinks.
First of all, women don't communicate to each other the way women and men communicate to each other.
Right.
And if I was going to tell a woman something, I would definitely not tell her the way I tell a guy because it would devastate her.
No, I understand that, but again, you're missing the point, I think, in that by making this public declaration and all of these other, things. First of all, if you believe that this is something you can control, you would need help with it because you're high-minded enough to have seen that this problem exists in that you sought out this seminar or whatever, workshop or whatever you called it, to go and deal with these issues, which I think, quite frankly, is commendable. But the result, I think, is a little bit twisted in that, it really puts everyone else in a position of having to do something as opposed to you. You're asking everyone else to make you aware of what your behavior might be if they're uncomfortable, et cetera. And again, it doesn't really identify with whether or not your problems at root are being dealt with.
I think this is more of an issue of perception. I was simply saying sometimes, things get very heated in the studio, and you can lapse into automatic. And I might not even realize that I've stepped over that line in a moment of heat.
Hey, Rob.
And that's what I'm saying. Call my attention to it.
Let me give you like a specific example. And I think it's great to try to make the world a better place. I think that's where your heart is.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like Eric calls in, and a lot of people here call him Eric the Midget.
Right.
He doesn't like that. I think he feels it diminishes him. Will you stop doing that?
I usually call Eric to his face Eric the actor or Eric.
Okay.
But that has always been the case.
This is interesting. I know we're all getting fascinated by nitpicking the specifics, but it is going to be interesting to see how this plays out because it doesn't even sound like you're 100% sure how it's. I mean,
you're still working on it.
You're still working out the.
Absolutely.
Right.
When I came to this conclusion, I said to myself, I wonder what I'll do on the air.
So this is interesting.
Well, right now, Robin she's got a 3-day chip.
Right,
That's right. I don't know. I might drink again.
Have you had almost like, oh my God, I almost did it? Like, have there been a lot of moments like that? Like I almost emasculated?
This morning on the show, Howard started to say something about himself, and I started to, I just mentioned it, that he started to talk about how he wouldn't be saving anybody on the boat, and I started to go along with it. Yeah, you're not that great. That's basically what I'm saying.
Jerry in Tampa, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Robin's just like one of the guys in there. When Howard just starts busting on balls, she's going to be just like a guy and just pile right on. You know what I'm saying? But then again, Robin, you're cackling there. Now, when it comes back on you, don't be like a silverback and fucking be all defensive.
What does that mean?
He's saying that when you get shit, you're going to have to remember that you made an oath.
I take a lot of shit already.
No, but I think he's saying that if you start getting shit, you may lapse.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I need to have people then say, you're lapsing.
But
I
if
will appreciate
But if
that.
somebody's giving you shit, why aren't you allowed to lapse?
Because they're probably giving me shit for what I did.
Not necessarily, though. I mean, someone could be hitting you for whatever reason. Say,
why would they be doing that?
I don't know. Say they're, Say they're breaking your balls over, whatever it might be. The natural reaction would be, well, you know what, and you go back at them. I think it's very difficult not to slip into that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I can't think of an instance.
We'll see if we're working with Robin or a silverback.
Well, do you think we'll lose? I just hope we don't lose any honesty. Meaning, if Sal pisses you off for whatever reason, and you guys are arguing, and he's being an asshole, and you want to shout, "Hey, Sal, you're a fucking asshole," or we're not going to lose those honest moments, or
absolutely not.
Okay, good. All right.
You're being an asshole, but you're a great man.
See,
I mean this in the most uplifting way.
But Robin, when I call you an asshole, won't you think now at this moment that, hey, he's probably right, there's something I did in the past that makes Sal call me an asshole?
Not in the past. It probably will be in the moment.
All right, you're an asshole. Let's go. Right now, you're an asshole for this whole stupid emasculation
You're not
thing.
even being sincere.
That's true. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, you just met Sal?
Keith, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, I just want to say that I think Robin is a great part of the show, like everybody else there. And I think if you stop emasculating, you're going to ruin the show.
Well, one of the biggest things that emasculates men is interrupting, which is, I'm the queen of interrupting all of you all the time. And that's one of the main things I'm working on.
Yeah, in the 70s, it would have been a punch in the face. So, yeah. Ask my mom.
Or Johnny Carson's second wife.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a huge self-realization for you.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's also one thing to say it and another thing to do it. So having been through your first day, do you feel like this is something you can stick to?
It's been a very interesting first day.
Well, it's her third day. It's just her first day with us.
I meant the first day back at the show.
But this is really the test.
Right.
I mean, when you're in rehab, it's easy not to drink.
She could emasculate the doorman.
I was going to say, she could have surrounded herself by more feminine men. Feminine men.
Was it like AA at all? Did you have to stand up and say, I am an emasculator?
No.
Was there any gazing involved?
No gazing either.
I heard that we were looking up some stuff. I guess, again, what's her name? Allison
Armstrong.
Somebody said that her husband's got a whole thing going on where he takes a bunch of guys out to the desert to dance around the fire.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I think they call that, what is that, Burning Tree or something like that?
Burning Man? Yeah,
oh.
Now, would it surprise you that people are skeptical of this at all around here?
Not at all.
So you're just going to have to prove yourself over time.
I'm an expert at what I was doing.
Well, that's a good question. How did you find this, and how did you end up in this place?
I have friends who've done seminars with her.
And they came back with a really positive outlook about it?
Well, they came back with, wow, I never understood what my view or my point of view about men was. And I've been looking at them in the wrong way.
Will you do any kind of like a public service announcement about it? Like,
oh, I love that.
Oh, that's so great.
JD sitting on your lap, looking sad.
JD, how do you feel about all this? I mean, Robin did hold back when you were in there for a long time today.
It's fine. She do whatever she wants. She's trying to be better or whatever. I don't know. Good luck, Robin.
I only tried to ask for information when JD was in there. If there was a question I thought would lead us somewhere, I asked the question.
That was not good.
JD is the go-to guy for information.
I'm sorry.
And Sal, this reminds me a lot of when you were going through therapy with your wife. Like, you came in one day and all of a sudden everything became your fault. You really changed that day, and I was like, Sal, come on. I mean, there's two sides of the story here.
Yeah, I mean, I know what Robin's going through. This will, like everything else, it'll phase out. It really will. One day, I don't mean that in a bad way, but one day it's lemonade and cayenne pepper. The next day she's racing cars. The next day she's on horses. The next day she's skydiving. Now she's being nice to us. That's the craziest fucking thing out of everything that she's ever done. It's much safer for her to get in a car and go 120 miles an hour than to be nice to Sal Governale. Trust me.
So you almost sound disappointed. You sound disappointed that she's being nice.
I think everything she's doing is great. She's heading in the right direction. It's awesome. But Robin needs to realize at the end of the day, she's a great person. There's no denying that. So you don't when you emasculate us, it's all part of the game.
So Sal, with your logic, you don't forgive your wife. You think she's a bitch, and you just live with her because you have no place else to go.
You said it, not me. No, I think my wife is just fine. She's just fine.
By the way,
what a great compliment.
Women love to be told that they're fine.
Yeah, Robin, you're fine.
Did you take anything out of that therapy that you now apply to your marriage?
Yeah, I took money out of my bank account and I gave it to my therapist.
Just lobbed that one right in there, didn't I?
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, all the talk was about Roger Waters coming by and doing an interview with Howard. He doesn't do any interviews, and there's a ton of Pink Floyd fans here. Myself, Scott DePace, Gary. We don't agree on much, but we do agree on Roger Waters and how great Pink Floyd is. And here's how that conversation went.
A lot of big Pink Floyd fans here. DePace is a huge Floyd fan. Jason Kaplan is a fan. Brian Phelan, myself. And I've seen a lot of concerts, and The Wall is probably, I saw last year at the Garden, easily top 3. Just visually, it's stunning. The album's great. And but with Waters coming in today, you wondered what kind of interview it would be with Howard, because Howard's a big Pink Floyd fan. Not as big as some of the other guys here, but definitely a big fan. But Waters very rarely does interviews. And to hear him speak about the issues that he dealt with both personally and with the band, pretty incredible. I knew, he's had issues with his dad his whole life. That's what a lot of his work is. I mean, the last album he did with Pink Floyd is basically about his father and the war. But to hear him tell those stories to Howard, what it's like being out on the road, why he's not touring with Gilmour anymore, and how Pink Floyd continues to be such a crazy draw, I thought that was really fascinating. But my favorite part, Ted, and I want to play this clip, was when Howard asked Roger about the story of a fan, him spitting on a fan, and if it was true, and that's why he built the wall. And not only did Roger admit it, but he sort of acted it out a little bit. Hit one, Ted.
The Wall to me is like one of the angriest records ever. So to me, I mean, I love that story about how one night you got so fucking angry on stage that you spit on somebody in the audience, and that's where the idea became that you wanted to build a wall between yourself and the audience. Is that correct?
It is.
It is.
To my eternal shame.
Why did you spit on a member of the audience?
Because he was climbing up the front of the fucking stage! What?
And so
I can't remember.
But thank God for that fan, because that is the wall.
And what's great in that clip is you got to hear both Roger Waters. You heard the subdued British interviewing, and then when you heard the anger come out, you're like, yeah, that's the guy we're sort of into. So Gary's not here yet, but a fellow Pink Floyd fan who I believe I'll be attending the Yankee Stadium show with, and we can get the tickets, is Scott DePace.
You're going to be my date?
I'll be your date.
All right, nice. What a great interview, huh?
Now, I know you have very strong opinions about different guests on the show, but when Roger Waters walks in, you said this is the interview you're looking forward to. Was this your favorite interview ever since you started working here?
It was definitely top 2. And I can't even think of the other one. So, yeah, it probably is.
Now, I know I'll vouch for your Pink Floyd fandom, and I'm sure you'll vouch for mine, but a lot of what Waters does is anti-war, protest, a lot of the things that you're against. Is that tough for you, being a fan of his?
Listen, I'm not pro-war.
I know how you feel about Elton John, so I wonder how that translates over with Roger Waters.
I'm not pro-war either, but yes, I do try to avoid that part of his thing. So if we go to the concert and he makes it an anti-war concert, that'll be, that'll suck.
You can't enjoy the music?
I can, but not with, I've heard reports that he had the pig up there in his last concert and
With
said,
the Bush
impeach
message?
Bush.
Yes.
That would have made me want to walk out.
Yeah, he does. Impeach Bush is written on the pig's ass, actually.
And if it is again, I'll have to think about walking out.
You're not walking out. Who are you kidding?
Well, I'll bring a BB gun and shoot the damn thing down.
Now,
Get thrown out of the concert.
You're not going to shoot the pig. That's one of the best parts of the show. But hearing Howard interview Roger, did you learn anything that you didn't know about Roger beforehand?
Well, I learned that I like him a little more. I'm actually a little more of a Gilmore fan. I always took his side in the argument, But I did learn that Wish You Were Here story I thought was great.
Yeah.
Where Gilmore just had the guitar lick and then Roger basically completed the song, So that was special.
But so many musical legends have been up here. McCartney for one. There are others. Why did Roger? Now, people who aren't Pink Floyd fans don't know that he doesn't do a lot of the interviews. Period. Let alone talk to Howard.
Right. And I just spent, I'd say, all of my high school years and some of my college years getting stoned listening to Pink Floyd.
I think most people do. I think it's part of the success of Dark Side of the Moon.
But now you're a Pink Floyd fan, but you didn't get stoned, right?
Back then, yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I got to ask you, Scott, because I just got to know, did you, at any point in your life, did you do the Wizard of Oz thing with Dark Side of the Moon?
No, well, yeah, we probably tried it and it didn't work. But
So it works at some points.
Yeah.
My son tried it. I'm hoping he wasn't stoned.
Why did everyone think it was so strange that you're going to go with your son to see the show?
I don't know. I mean, some people think that kids should go and do the thing. And by the way, I don't do everything with my son. Like they go to the Jet game. Him and his buddies go. It just seemed like, he said, "Hey, Dad, if he ever comes, I want to go." And I'm not even positive that he could round up friends to go. I don't know how many of his friends are into Pink Floyd.
But he is really
big time.
So he's
really big time.
He's a stoner, Gary.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be into the Wall, that's for sure. If you're going to go see this, not necessarily Pink Floyd.
Does he know more than 2 or 3 albums?
I think he's. Here's a funny thing. I don't know that he knows albums anymore. Now you just get Pink Floyd's greatest hits.
Yeah.
I don't know that he knows Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall as a conceptual album because kids don't just listen to shit that way anymore. I just know that when we go up skiing, I can hear in his iPod the song's going on. He'll listen to. I turned him on one time to "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," the long version.
Yeah.
I think it's 18 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
Which part?
The one that's 18 minutes long, and I said, it's such a great song, you got to hear it. And afterwards, he goes, Dad, the song's 18 minutes long. And I go, yeah, but then I caught him listening to it 10 more times.
Yeah, the point when you get into animals, you're a stoner.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's not into, that's the thing, he's not into albums. He knows that this is off of this and this is off of that, but I don't know that, he may have Dark Side of the Moon on there, but probably he's got there's a 2 or 3 CD greatest hits that's got everything.
Beginning to end, can you come up with a better album than Dark Side of the Moon? I'm talking complete album.
Well, I could throw Born to Run up there. I could throw.
No way.
I could throw Hey Jude. I could throw Sgt. Pepper's up there for sure. You think You think that Dark Side of the Moon and Sgt. Pepper's isn't a discussion?
I think it's a discussion, but I think there are more holes in Sgt. Pepper than there are in Dark Side of the Moon. I'd make that argument.
But I love Dark Side of the Moon. Don't get me wrong.
Time is the best song, right?
No, we've had this discussion. No, I love Great Gig in the Sky. Vince, you're on the wrap-up show. Hi, Vince.
Hey, guys. Hey, Gary, first of all, like you, my son's the same way. He's 13 years old, and for whatever reason, he just fell in love with Pink Floyd. So,
well, according to Scott, he's a stoner.
Yeah.
yeah, of course. And the worst thing is, and maybe look into it further, because he likes the earlier stuff even better than the older stuff. So,
he's a stoner.
If your son's listening to Ummagumma, you may want to...
He's an acid head.
Which is the album with the fucking 13-year-old naked girl on the cover, the redhead throwing the plane? You know what I'm talking about? That weird-looking...
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. It almost looks like something like Uriah Heep or something. Yeah, I know I don't remember what it is. But nonetheless, I always think Howard does a great job at interviewing people, but I was kind of taken back by the fact that he kept, number one, he would ask, like, Roger questions, and before Roger could even really address anything, he was on to his next question. I felt that a lot. I think if you guys listen back to it a little bit, I mean, obviously you guys being there, you probably don't listen as clearly as a listener does, so to speak. But also, I thought...
I caught he did that in the Wish You Were Here story, and I found myself yelling at the screen, go, no, let him finish. And then what Howard was doing is bringing them back to the story. Roger had went aside, and Howard was bringing him back. So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's twofold. He's keeping Roger on track, but also Roger speaks kind of laid back and slow, and Howard is all about pacing, and you got to keep things moving. But it's tricky because you don't want to rush. I mean, look, the ambulance Beirut story, that took 20 minutes to get back to.
I did find Roger, and I thought this was more of Roger's personality, because I believe he probably gets this ass kiss quite a bit. Howard's like, come on, tell us. And he's like, calm down, and I'll fucking tell you.
Yeah, I'll get there.
But which is funny. But what was your other comment?
No, we lost.
Oh, he had another comment.
Yeah, people always say Howard's the world's best interviewer. I don't think that. I think he's one of the most entertaining live interviewers, but I think that's a lot different than one of the best interviewers. And maybe he could be if he wanted to be.
Well, I think he gets the most out of people, and again, we're lucky that we have a forum where we can do that, because Howard said, or somebody said they saw him on Jimmy Fallon, and Roger wasn't that dynamic. But I don't think you can get a decent Roger Waters interview going in 7 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely took a little while to get him comfortable. And Howard, the first question he asked him about sex, Roger's like, okay, I knew you were going to ask me about that. I wonder what interview Roger expected, because this is a rare...
he knows.
But this is a rare thing where, the two of them met each other outside of the studio. Then when you come in...
But he said he listened to the show a couple of times. I find that with people like him most of the time, they come in and then they walk out and they go... It wasn't nearly as much of that stuff as I thought there was going to be, because if you don't know the show that well, you think that's all it's going to be.
The other thing I thought was interesting was Roger saying that the band was a really tight unit until Dark Side of the Moon, and that's when things started to go off the rails. And I wonder why. Could they not deal with the success, or was it Roger sort of taking over the band?
He said they accomplished their goal at that point, right? They were at the high, so at that point, I think, and I'm a Gilmore fan, that Roger slowly started trying to take more and more control, and that's what the other guys got pissed off.
Now, I gave Howard something from the Rolling Stone interview that everyone just did recently, and I think Roger said that Gilmore and the other guys kept telling him that his voice was off, that his voice sucked, and that maybe he shouldn't be singing as much, and I think he might have felt that they were trying to drive him out of the band.
But yet he sung more,
Well, maybe, I mean, maybe like when Howard was asking Waters about, hey, if McCartney said to you, will you come and work on a song with me? And Waters says, I'm not someone that really likes to collaborate a lot. So maybe it was more of that. Maybe he just doesn't want to collaborate.
I also like how he said when he was first forming the band, if you're the guy with the least amount of talent, you're the one who should be pulling everybody in. And that's what he did to form Pink Floyd. But there was the whole Sid thing, and there's so many places to go with this interview.
I thought my favorite part of the interview that I love for any time you have a musician in was Howard got him to break down songs. Like, when he started talking about money and he started humming the song without the words, he's like, okay, we got this great riff, but now where do we go? When he started talking about how, was it Run Like Hell? Was he talking about that?
He said, Wish You Were Here.
No, it was something else. It was a riff, and it was like, dang it.
Wish You Were Here.
Was it?
Yeah, and then he went off into a room, did his thing, and then gave it back to Gilmore to put his touches on. And I'd seen back, some of the recording sessions for Dark Side, and that's how it seems. Like Gilmore is constantly doing overdubbing, and Roger's yelling at him how to do it.
But it's weird. Like even when we had Slash on, we had heard that story. Like "Sweet Child of Mine" was Slash. That beginning riff is Slash
is practicing,
and Axl was upstairs and heard it and wrote words to it. Everyone doesn't always get in a room, so it's
Right.
always very vague on who is responsible for how much of a song.